Hello everyone. Welcome. I hope you can all hear me well. Just please let me know if the sound is fine, if you can hear it good. I'm always a bit worried about the sound. So welcome, Happy New Year. I think this is the first stream we're doing in 2024, and I hope you've had like some good, I hope you had good Christmas. I hope you had a Happy New Year. I hope you had a nice festive time, a good break. Hopefully, you all rested and you're a bit all rested and ready for the year. So, but yeah, thank you so much for being here. I can see that there's a lot of people, there are a lot of familiar faces. So, Happy New Year to everyone. Today, we're going to continue our showreel reviews, and I just wanted to mention something out of the back right away, because a lot of people contacted me. About the streams, because people know that I used to do a lot of Nuke compositing streams on Twitch, and so I've now decided that I'm not going to go back to Twitch. I'm going to keep them doing here. So expect my Nuke compositing streams, which I did quite a lot of them between 2019, 20, 21, and 22, and I still did a few last year as well. I'm not going to do them on Twitch anymore. I'm going to do them on YouTube. YouTube is much better now in terms of quality. The stream quality is better as well. Most of my audience is here anyway. So I kind of felt that this would be the correct place to do the Nuke streams. So I'm going to go back to them. And just like last time, I'm going to pick up a shot, a workshop, and I'm going to keep compositing a shot like a workshop. And it will be like a production shot. Last one we did was the Sniper Elite 5 bridge shot. It's going to be similar to that. We're going to do a shot similar to that one. And yeah, that's going to be my plan. So expect that to come soon. So I'm going to continue here with streams every 2 weeks with showreel reviews. That's the plan. I got a lot of showreels just now, like a couple of minutes ago. I just wanted to let everyone know, so people don't get disappointed, that the showreels, we only do them by booking. So as mentioned on the description, when people send a showreel, they need to contact me so we can book it, to make sure you have a microphone, to make sure you have Zoom installed. And sometimes I even have a pre-meeting with people. Sometimes they ask me that. And so just keep that in mind, that you can't bring in the showreel live on the show. I need to pre-book it just to make sure everything is working. The microphone is working, the sound is working. And also that I got the files and everything is smooth. And also that I can get to know the person before we go in to the stream. So that will continue every 2 weeks, and then my plan for the Nuke compositing is to do it once a month. So that would be the plan. So that means expect 3 streams per month going on in your YouTube. I might still go back to Twitch, but to do other things. I'm planning kind of maybe to do some gaming, which is what it's supposed to be for anyway. And so that's maybe what I will do when I come back to that. But yeah, that's it really. Just wanted to mention that before. Now another thing as well that I wanted to mention is really wanted to give a huge shout out to BenQ, because BenQ are the ones that support this stream. Because of them, that's why we are doing these streams. They are so kind to support the channel for years now, and as sponsors. And also we do a lot of giveaways of BenQ. As well during the year. So I just wanted to thank BenQ so much for all their support, and I'm going to run their commercial just so that you know what type of monitors they have. As you know, I use BenQ monitors, and you can kind of see it here on my setup. You can kind of see that currently I have 3 BenQ monitors on this side here. So that's a PD monitor, a ultra wide, and then I have an SW photography monitor and another SW on vertical mode here. Especially the vertical mode is mostly, it's mostly for me to take care of things that are vertical, both the scopes and also when we're color correcting or doing photography in vertical. So yeah, that's I also have a new camera now for the stream. I just wanted to mention that. I had to set up a second camera because when I'm talking with someone on Zoom, we had this issue on the last stream. When I'm talking with someone on Zoom, I can't share the regular camera, which is that one, to the Zoom, because I can only share it in one app at a time. So I had to set up a second camera here, so that when I'm talking with someone reviewing the showreel, I am going to be able to talk to the person. Person is going to be able to see me as well. And then you see me on the regular monitor, and then I have another camera there. Not a perfect setup, but it's, for now, the only way I found to be able to have multiple cameras to different softwares. But yeah, so I just wanted to mention BenQ is why we do these streams, and I'm going to just run their commercial for a second. It's only 1 minute long. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be right back. Okay, so thank you so much, BenQ, for the support that you give us every week, and for the community as well. So Ricardo is saying, he says in Portuguese, I have a nice collection of games. Yeah, these are my games. That's true. You do see them better on this camera here. See, like over there. I'm gonna go out of the way. So those are all my retro consoles. So I have 22 consoles. So I have the Sega Dreamcast, and the GameCube, and the Jaguar, and the 3DO, and yeah, the Wii U, the Xbox One S, and also the Xbox original as well. There's also an SCDI down there, an Amiga 500 as well. There's also a Sega Saturn, a Nintendo 64, a Mega Drive, a Mega CD, and then of course the PlayStation 5, the Xbox, and the Xbox 360, and then the Wii U, and then also up there, there's the I have the Evergate, the Evergate, and then I have some mini consoles which are up there. I don't have them hooked up because I don't play that often, but if you can hardly see it, but it's up there as well. I have some mini consoles there. So yeah, I'm a huge gamer. I've always been a huge gamer. I've been very lucky and fortunate to actually work in the games industry as well for a long time, apart from the visual effects industry as well. So it's nice that that's why I was saying that I might still do some Twitch streams, because I think it would be nice to play some of these games together with everyone. But yeah, that's it really. So there's a giveaway as well, don't forget. I think I've copied it a few times already for the chat, so I'm gonna spam that giveaway a bit as well. So if you are interested on getting my Nuke course for free, just join the giveaway. I will be giving 2 Nuke courses today. So I'll be giving one halfway through the stream. So once we're like halfway through, we'll do one giveaway, and then at the end we'll do another giveaway. So I'm giving 2 Nuke courses. The Nuke course, of course, is a very big course. It has like 150 classes. It's like, I don't know, 80 hours long or something. It's really long. Again, I've lost count now. And it's an ongoing project because we keep doing new classes, and I'm currently recording a lot of classes, and they're all going to drop. But yeah, so join that, and if you already have the course, if you already are my student, don't forget that I will still give you, I can give you the other course I have, because I now have a workshops course as well, which is a brand new course that I am doing for 2014. I also have another course that is going to come out soon. I'm actually doing a visual effects supervision course. That's what I'm currently doing now. But anyway, about me, enough about me. Let's just get this show on the road. I've been yapping for 10 minutes. So good that you're all here. Thank you so much to all of you supporting the show like this. So we have 3 showreel reviews today, by the way. So we're doing quite a few today, and so I'm gonna start by bringing in the first contender, I guess. That would be the name for it. The first contender, which will be Emilio. I think that's how I pronounce his name. I hope so. Emilio Lingg, and I'm going to just open up his showreel as well. So if you just give me a second, I'll bring Emilio in, and then we can start talking with him. With them, let's just see here. So I am, just give me a second, where is it? Oh yeah, here you go. Sorry, I was on the wrong folder. So let me just bring in his reel first, so that I have it on here as a quick time, and then. Oh, but I forgot to mention as well, I'm doing an experiment today as well. I'm running the stream on 60 frames per second. So the stream is at 60, and also my camera is at 60 as well. Hopefully this all goes well, and I'm hoping that it works well, because I'm kind of thinking for the workshops it's smoother to have it at 60. So that's one thing I forgot. We'll see how this goes. So I'm going to bring in Emilio and then start that review with him. Let's just... join here. So hopefully this works. Let's see here. Hopefully it works. No, that's not the one. No, sorry, that's not the one. So it should be. Yeah, and it doesn't work, right? Like I'm so. You know, I had all this time. I prepared everything. Had a second camera. Everything was working just fine. And of course, now that I'm setting up, it doesn't work anymore. We're gonna have to improvise a bit here. Hey there, can you hear me? Just see if I can put you on as well, so people can hear you as well.
I hope you hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you now. I think so. Can anyone
Perfect.
confirm? Yeah, I'm just having a little bit of a technical problem here. Give me just 1 second, because I need to set up the second camera. Otherwise, this is not gonna work. And I think I might know why this is happening. I think I know why this is happening. So I just need to not close DaVinci. I think it's because of DaVinci that I'm having some issues, because I was running the ads. So just give me 1 second. I'll be with you in a second. So yeah, it doesn't. Okay, so okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm just gonna leave and come back right away.
Sure.
So apologies, everyone. I'm just having a little bit of a technical issue here, of course, because that's always the case. We always have a technical issue on the show. So I'm not sure why my camera just started acting up. So this might not work what I was planning to do. So I might have to do the review and then kind of workshop something in. So I was kind of hoping that this is going to work, but it didn't. So let's bring him in again.
Recording in progress. Recording stopped.
Hello.
Okay, cool. Well, anyway, it doesn't really work as I thought it was going to work, but it's not a problem. We'll manage like this. So, first of all, thank you so much for being here. I'm delighted to have you. I just wanted to can anyone hear Emilio? I hope everyone can hear Emilio. Can everyone
I sure hope.
I might just pump up the sound a little bit more for you. Okay, so yes, that is correct, Directo. Streaming without technical problems is not streaming at all. That is absolutely correct. Okay, cool. Well, anyway, I just wanted to let you know that when we do the review itself, you won't see me. I hope that's okay. You're going to listen to me, but you won't see me because I can't share 2 cameras at the same time. I was hoping my setup would have worked for me to be on that camera for you, but I can't because I'm now streaming just from one place. I hope that's okay with you. But for now, both of us can see everyone. So I'm going to share so that everyone sees you as well. And now I'm going to have to switch off my camera. That's what I was telling you. Fortunately, I can't have, because you saw the echo effect there. That was why. Yep. So let's just work with what we have, and then hopefully we get this to work. So it is what it is. Just like someone said, there's no way we can do a stream without having technical issues. Okay, so I just want to, yeah. First of all, I guess, why don't you introduce yourself and tell the audience where you're calling from, your name, and what do you do, and so that people get to know you a little bit.
Sure. So I'm Emilio. I am from a small country called Liechtenstein, which has like 40,000 inhabitants in total. It is currently 6:19 p.m., so we have about an hour delay. Um, and I learned software development. I was working in that field for like 5 years. And now I started the like training for 3D animation and visual effects. And with my like technical background and everything, I settled on compositing and I'm super happy with it. So yeah, that's about me, I guess.
Okay, cool. And what's the intuitive this review? I guess. I mean, first of all, thank you so much
Oh,
for bringing the showreel over, and
mhm.
can't thank you enough. And so, what was the idea behind it? Are you looking for work currently, or are you just browsing? What's going on with you?
So yeah, I am starting to apply now. Like I really want to change the industry. I really want to go into VFX. And I mean, of course, like I've seen and learned with your tutorials and your streams and everything. So it was always like a grill to your show so you can review it. Um, I mean, more eyes are always better, right? So um, yeah, hearing from a professional what's wrong and what's good and what can be improved is a great opportunity, I think.
Oh, thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm also very happy that there's now more professionals coming into YouTube as well. I was very, very delighted to see Victor Perez yesterday on YouTube as well, doing some streams. So I really
Yes,
recommend everyone to go and join him. He's going to be there on every Tuesday, every week, doing streams. So go and join him. He's also going to be joining me here at the studio for us to do some showroom reviews together as well. So we're going to be doing that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, thank you so much
awesome.
for bringing in. So I guess without further ado, I'm just, while we keep talking, you probably, I don't know if you've seen these reviews before, but I usually like basically we talk over the video and then just like keep chatting, and that would be the idea.
Yeah,
So I'm just going to like bring you over so that people can see you as well. So I'll put you here on the little corner because, like I said, I don't have. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately, you're not seeing me, but that's okay, right? Like you're gonna be
I mean, I
fine.
see the stream like a little bit delayed, so
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm gonna share on. I'm gonna share it on. I'm gonna share my screen,
Mhm.
so that you see my playback. So never mind the stream because you're gonna be seeing it live wherever I'm playing here. So I'm not gonna put sound on your showreel, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna keep it running on the background there while we chat. And so yeah, so tell me a little bit about this. Like, is this like mostly professional work? Is it like student work? Like, what's going on with this showreel? We'll go shot by shot, but just in general,
Mhm.
what is this showreel constructed of?
So everything you see here is non-commercial work basically, and like the first one and the elephant or the savannah shot are personal projects which I did in my studies, and the other two projects are from like a bigger project, but also in a student group. So everything was like a learning thing and a learning path and trial and error and nothing professional yet.
I see. And by the way, I forgot to ask that. How's the visual effects industry in Liechtenstein? Like, is it like, is there companies like, is it easy to find work? Like, how's it going on there? I never actually, I don't think I've ever had someone from Liechtenstein on the show. So,
So I think it's non-existent.
okay,
I searched for like studios in the area, and the closest thing is Zurich, which is like 50, 60-ish kilometers away.
yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
I have to relocate.
I was just in Zurich this Christmas actually. Me and Anna, we went and spent Christmas. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put a loop on this thing. We spent Christmas in Basel, which is
Hmm.
near Zurich, and then we went to Zurich as well for a couple of days. It was lovely. It's a lovely place. I never been there before, so it
It
was good
really
to be
is.
there. Yeah, it's lovely, and I'm assuming there is some VFX works there, isn't it? There's some companies, and like you said, there is
Yeah,
some. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
like
cool.
Swiss film companies and also some smaller studios.
Yeah, yeah, cool.
Hmm.
Excellent. Okay, so let's go through this one at a time. So, starting with the first shot, tell everyone here a little bit about what's this. Like it says, all responsible for all aspects. I'm not sure if you've written what it is here. No, it didn't. But so, what kind of project is this?
So we call this a 2D actor replacement in our group. And it's basically green screen filming and replacing a person in the video.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean I did all of the filming, the planning, the layout, and as you see, like everything that is in this shot. Um, so yeah, we started out with like we had like this green screen room, we filmed there, and then we just I just replaced myself or like the other person with myself.
And was this shot at the school or something, or did you do your own bespoke studio to do this?
No, I was learning in at Pixel Vision in Cologne. I don't
Hmm.
know if you heard of that.
Hmm.
Um, and
I have
we
heard of them. Yeah.
yeah, and then like we had this room and this was like our demo reel, our first demo reel project, so we had more time for that and also a lot of um guidance and like mentors and everything. So um
Cool.
because I couldn't have come up with all the smart ideas people had in this shot.
And what was it shot with? What kind of camera?
This was shot with a Sony A7R4,
Oh,
I
cool.
think. Just
Shot.
a full frame DSLR.
Okay, cool. So shot in RAW, I guess that you guys did, or yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay, cool.
Or at least, yes, it was raw.
Okay, cool. Well, I have to say, like, you did a great job matching it up. I mean, I don't know if you had information of the lenses and cameras of the other shot. Did you?
I unfortunately didn't.
Okay. So you
I
had
tried to
to.
camera track it and estimate everything, but yeah,
There's a lot of
it
people in the
was,
front, so it's probably going to be a bit difficult to get like a proper track. But
yes.
I think you did a good job with kind of like trying to figure out the lens. I think you did a good job, and I think it's pretty well matched. And I also think you did a fantastic job with the keying and the rotoscoping. But I'm assuming you had some rotoscoping as well, and the
Hmm.
replacement. And the only thing I must say is that you can kind of like, and this is really not sure it would be possible for you to really tweak, but you can kind of notice, not the first time, of course, because you watch it the first time, you don't even notice. You only notice when the breakdown comes on, because, usually when people watch something the first time, it's very rare that you notice anything. You're just watching it, like, especially if it's a film, you're just watching a bunch of shots and you're not really thinking about them. But once you watch it again, then you start noticing more details. And now that we know that this is a composite, you can kind of start noticing that the camera that shot this main group shot has a different emulsion, like the lens and the sharpness of it, and the diffuse of that lens and that camera and sensor most likely are very different from the camera that you shot. Now you don't really know what camera, as I understood, you don't know what camera shot this.
No, not
Yeah.
at all.
Now you should, for example, I'll give an example, like Canon lenses, for example, Canon cameras have a little bit warmer tint to them, and then Blackmagic cameras are a bit colder, and then ARRI lenses. Canon, for example, is very good at skin processing because of they're really great sensors, and then. Alexa, for example, has a more overall sensor that kind of recreates very realistic images. They're all very different, and you can kind of tell here that when you look at this girl, which is the closest to you, like this girl has just a different type of definition and sharpness, and so that's going to be a struggle to try to match it because it's just it's just two different cameras. So I don't think you'll ever be able to do that much better. But I just wanted to let you know that in the future, like if you ever get to do something like this, or even if anyone on the audience wants to do something like this you did, make sure you use the same camera in the same lens as much as possible, or at least try to find out what camera it was, so that you get that same emulsion. I'm not sure you could do anything about this. I think you did a fantastic job with everything else, and in fact, you even did a really good job with the relighting. Can I ask how you did that? Was it that just masks, or was it an actual 3D projection with modeling to get the relighting in his face?
This was all just rotoscoping and masks, and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, it worked really well. You managed to do it really well. The other
Thank
thing
you.
as well that could have helped, I think it would have probably helped if you would have shot yourself outside instead of indoors. Obviously, I understand maybe it was winter or maybe it wasn't that easy, but it would always, if you had shot with a low sun, which is kind of what's going on here. I'm assuming this is kind of the end of the day, with a bit of a cloudy day. The sun is on the other side. Like I think you would have gotten a closer match with the complexity of the skin and the hair and everything would have looked a bit better. And this is in fact why sometimes they shoot visual effects outside. A good example of this is when you look at the behind the scenes of Uncharted, for example, the film. All the shots of him jumping from crater to crater on the plane were shot actually outside. And another example of this is Dune, where they are replacing most of it in CG, but they still went outside to shoot it so that they could get the light correct. So that could have helped, I think. But I think apart from that, very happy. Now, I have to tell you one thing. I'm not a big fan of having the shot in the beginning and then the breakdown after. Because I think this is my personal opinion, of course, but I feel like it's better to see the shot and then see the breakdown right away. But I'm not entirely sure if you got feedback to do it that way, or if you didn't even thought about that.
Yeah, so I was also not sure if I just ruined the flow with like all the breakdowns and everything. I mean, in the end, it's just the moving of the clips in the timeline. Um, I was not 100% sure.
Yeah. I personally think you should put them together. I think it's
Okay.
easier watch, because you watch that shot and then you see the breakdown right after. I think that would benefit the shot. Now, I can see Paul Dyko is here on the chat. Thank you so much for being here, Paul. Paul is a very experienced and senior artist in the industry, by the way. So thanks for being here, Paul. And Paul has a really good point, which I was going to mention in a minute as well. It kind of looks like the dynamic range of what you shot is kind of different from the shot outside as well. And you can kind of feel that on the color correction you did, because you feel that this is... when you look at the face and you look at this color correction, because the camera probably doesn't have enough dynamic range to match the plate that was shot, because this shot outside looks really good. It kind of looks like it's a proper cinema camera, it's proper setup. It might be an Alexa, might be a red camera, it might be like a more advanced camera, and you can kind of feel that when you did all that color correction with the masks, you lost some of the dynamic range and some of the limits, and so your face looks over processed. Almost looks like it has a slight filtering on the face, almost like when those people try to pretend that they're a bit younger, and then they put that filter. It almost matches, almost looks like that. So be careful with that. I think you went a little bit too much with the processing. Maybe you need to tone it down. But I'm definitely just I'm reaching at straws. I think you did a fantastic job. The shot is really good, and so please don't be sad or upset about my feedback. I am definitely giving you very, very minute little details, and I think that for the majority of the recruiters watching a showreel, a lot of times the recruiters are not artists, and so they'll think this is fine, and then it will pass over to a supervisor, and then if you get pre-selected, then you'll get over to a supervisor to see it. So I think you did a great job. And these are really minute details that next time you probably can think about them, So
Absolutely.
think about it on a constructive level. It's not really definitely not breaking apart your shot at all. I think it looks really good. So,
Thanks.
so let's move on to the next one then. Unless you have anything else you would like to say about this.
Um, I think no, I think that's fine.
Cool. So let's move on. Then you have this thing.
Yes.
You need to tell us what this thing is.
So this is a shot from a not yet released movie, and this is kind of the dream character in that world that doesn't exist, um, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to tell you what it actually is because like they were really restrictive on what I share. I can send you like an update later on what like
Yeah.
but it's a character and it looks weird and kind of gross, I know. Um
I definitely don't want you put yourself into trouble, and don't worry about it. Like, we can see it later. You can always send it to me later on.
sure.
You have me now on LinkedIn, and you can always like contact me later. But I was just curious to know because
Yeah.
it looks very bizarre. Um,
It really does.
okay, so why don't you tell us? Well, I'm gonna jump into the breakdown so
Mhm.
that we can kind of see a little bit of what goes on there. Okay, so let's see here. So that's the breakdown. You see what I meant? Like, now I had to scroll to the other. See, this
Yeah.
as a recruiter, as a person watching your showreel, or even a supervisor, this could be this could get annoying quite quickly because you're like watching one and then going to the other place and then trying to find the other one and then going in again. So it could become a bit annoying to kind of bounce around like this. It doesn't. I don't mind, but I'm nice enough to not mind this. But not everyone is nice.
True.
So, yeah. So, first of all, this was shot where? Is that the same thing like last time, like a school as well, or sorry, on a setup, or were you on set? Like, what's going on here?
So here I just did the compositing part. I got all the media and all the files.
Mhm.
This was filmed at Film Academy Baden-Württemberg in Germany.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, and they just like asked me to contribute to the project and I did a couple of shots. As you can see, like the preconditions aren't that good with like the not perfect blue screen as it was before. Um, so that was kind of more challenging. Everything was more real with, I think this was a Alexa 35.
Hmm.
So everything was a bit more professional
Yeah.
in that sense.
And now you're saying about the blue screen, like the funny thing about this, and you'll notice this as you move on into your career, the more we go into professional setups, the more we work in professional environments, the worse the green screens and the worse the blue screens get. Because there's two reasons for that. Like, reason number one is because they just don't have time on set. Like, there's no time because they're trying to shoot as fast as possible, and so they might not have time to light the blue screen correctly, or put in the lights that are necessary. And that's why when you look at breakdowns, you sometimes see that it doesn't even cover the whole shot, or there's only half of it, or sometimes the blue screen is not even covering the shot at all, and it's just on the corner. That also happens because sometimes they're doing multiple shots and then they don't bother to move it. So that's problem number one: speed and time on set. Because if you have a really famous actor, not saying this guy is a famous actor, but if you had a really famous actor, you can't spend his time. Like half an hour of his time is going to be millions, so you can't really like waste time. And so it's cheaper to fix it in comp, fix it in post, because it's much cheaper to hire a composer than to get Brad Pitt to stay another 2 hours. So
Sure.
that's kind of unfortunately the reality of it. And then number two, the number thing is, like 90% of these productions are rotoscoped. Like, people don't even bat an eye anymore. Like, they don't even care. Like, it's literally, sometimes when you see breakdowns on certain films, well, I'll give you an example. The last big VFX film, which is being nominated for everything, The Creator has no blue screens. There's no green screens. There's nothing. They literally just went on, rotoscoped and painted everything after the fact. And that's because, rotoscoping has become very cheap, and also like rotoscoping has become easier as well. And so sometimes they just do that. They just do that and don't even care. So So the more you leave school, the worse it will get, the blue screens and the green screens. The best green screens and the best blue screens I've ever experienced are from students because they take so long to set them up. And it's like, oh my God, it's so perfect because they've been there like for hours setting them up. So this is not even that bad, I'll tell you that. It's actually
Okay.
pretty good. It's a bit noisy, yes, but you can always denoise it with, with the denoiser. And I do think that at some point, something like this, if you have some issues, you just roto it. It's not a difficult object to roto as well. Just put some nice music or a nice podcast and you just go over it. So I think that sometimes is the way it goes. But yeah, tell me a little bit about the process. So you have several plates here. You have the dude or whatever this is. And then you have I'm guessing you have this background which is really dark with some markers for tracking. And then they gave you a sky, I guess, isn't it? So they give you 3 layers, right? Is that what's happening here?
So the thing is, the sky is actually just procedural noise and everything created in Nuke.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like that harshly directed. They just told me just do something like that, and I had a lot of creative freedom. Of course, we had a VFX supervisor, but yeah, the sky is procedural, and the plates and the dude I got. So yeah, I just started with the key and with the rotoscoping, and then I had the hole in the ceiling, which was actually kind of hard because the tracking markers weren't really good and everything was really noisy. So it was really hard to get a good track, but eventually I got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. And can I ask what's up with the size difference? Is it because it's an anamorphic lens, or is it really because they want him to be fatter or something? Is that
Yeah,
why?
so they had this issue when he was pulled up, he got longer and they wanted him to be more round.
Okay.
So I just squeezed him as much as I could until it looked bad because they wanted it completely round and it couldn't be done because then it would look awful. So even more. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, cool. Now, I just wanted to before we move on to next shot, I was just gonna try one thing because I think I've found the solution to the camera thing. So, and I'm gonna just give it a go. If you just give me 1 second. No, I did not. Okay, I was so happy now for a second that I thought I found the solution because I rebooted something, but I guess I didn't. So I'll fix this when I do the break. Then apologies, you're gonna be the only one not having this set up correctly, but I'm gonna need to reboot the machine. So let's just continue here, and then we'll try it. I'll try it later. Okay, so I'm gonna put your showreel again. So I'm just, there you go. So, okay. So last but not least, we have the next up. Not last. It's before last. So tell us a little bit about this shot. The guy on the moon. What's going on here?
So this was like a normal set extension or like a normal just a set extension. I got a 3D geometry for the background as well as like a projection image. Here I also got the sky as a round map, like a spherical map, a lat long, which I projected on a sphere. The hard part, believe it or not, was the keying or the actually rotoscoping here, because this shot was 1,700 frames long, and
Wow.
everything was really hazy and like halation, diffusion, so the edges had to be redone completely. Um,
Yeah, because the
yeah,
set is this. Yeah, okay.
yes,
So yeah, it's basically extending that. So that's the original, right? So you basically had to
yes.
remove the green on the top there, and then of
Mm-hmm.
course this is the tracker they put in, and then all of that is extra. It's a very
Yeah.
well made. I completely agree with Nub here on the chat. Nub Bud, I guess that's how you call it. He's also saying it's a beautiful set. It is. It's a really nice set.
Yes, I agree.
Again, were you on set or you were just given the shot?
I was given a shot. This
Okay.
was actually the same project as the project before,
That little
even
dude,
if
the
it
dude, yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So same preconditions. I just got the footage and started working.
Okay, cool, cool, excellent. Okay, cool. So, yeah, looks great. I mean, I don't really have anything to say. I think you did a great job. You're quite lucky that they didn't want to have a complete rebuild on the top there. I guess the
Yeah.
green was enough for them, and it does work. It does work its magic. But on a film, usually they would have made it better. Now, I think you did a good job with the extension of the moon. The only thing that I would say is that I am well. I mean, again, if I was on set on something like this, of course I would check what f-stop they were running on the camera, if it was 2.8 or if it was 4 or if it was 5 or something. And then I would
Hmm.
have tried to replicate whatever depth of field on that back wall there, the back rest of the craters. I would try to get the depth of field matching. I'm not entirely sure. There's nothing to reference because it's black. There's nothing there, so I can't really tell if it should be defocused or not. But at first glance, when I look at it, it looks a bit like too defocused. Because when you look at the stars are still a bit sharp, and then your crater on just below it is a bit too defocused. Because if the defocusing was already affecting the crater this way, the stars would be blown out. They would be bouquets, and so you need to I think you went too far. I think it should be sharper, the crater on the back. But again, this is information you gather on set. You find out what f-stop they were running, and then once you know what f-stop, then you can clearly know, okay, it needs to be more defocused, needs to be less defocused, and also where the focusing was happening as well.
Hmm.
So that would be what I would tell you. It's the only thing I kind of noticed. Now, the other thing as well is that it kind of feels like they have a lot of atmosphere going on. Is that like from the set as well, or?
Yeah, that's from the set.
Yeah, so that's gone. Is that because they wanted to remove it, or is it because they didn't say anything? Or what's going on here?
It's kind of both. So
Okay.
this shot, like we were already in the time crunch, and then I had to start this shot. So I just didn't have a lot of time, and they didn't mind losing a little bit. I tried to rebuild the smoke a little bit, but it's too subtle and you don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
Um, it was just a matter of t no time.
Yeah. On situations like this, it's not that easy to rebuild that. You could probably try to do a Luma key, but you'll probably lose it anyway because the crater. Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, I feel like the only thing that really that I feel is really like the depth of field. I know Joseph here on the chat is saying it should have more parallax with the sky. I don't totally. Apologies, Joseph. I don't totally agree with you. I don't think there would be a lot of parallax because the camera hardly moves. It doesn't. It doesn't move that much. I don't think you would get a lot of parallax. It's moving so subtly, and also it's moving forward. And so when you're moving forwards, you don't really get a lot of parallaxing anyway because it more happens more when you go sideways. So I'm not entirely sure, but maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong many times, Joseph. So let's move on then to the next one. So yeah, so that's the last one, which is the. So tell us a little bit about this. Like it actually is your. It's a 3D project as well. So you also know 3D, right? Like you also do 3D.
Yes, yes. So I did everything except the animation here, and also we used the existing rig. Um, and this was kind of like the showcase of I can do multipass compositing and
Hmm.
everything with 3D. Um, and this was also a demo reel project at the school, which I had more time. And we just wanted to do the whole 3D pipeline in one go and have everything from start to finish with a matte painting and no rotoscoping or not as much. And
Hmm.
yeah, so that's this project. It is the last project. I was not sure if I should put it in, but I mean, it's the only 3D thing I have, so
No, you
uh,
definitely should put it in, but I think you should do a better job with the breakdown because the breakdown is too short. You hardly show it. There's the other thing I was gonna say, especially on this shot, is more. The other ones were a bit more forgiving, but I think you have too many fades. I would skip the fading. I don't think you need fade, like because you're cutting too much of your shots. These ones are
Mm-hmm.
not that big deal, but you see on the elephant here, no one even sees most of this beginning, and which is a nice shot, like with all the animation going and the elephant and the zoom and the motion blur, and you're fading for so long from black that it takes too long. I think you should just do a hard cut, because then you
Oh,
can show
yeah.
more of the shot. And also, I think you should do breakdowns whenever you have shots like this. You should do the breakdown you did, and then you should do another breakdown. So maybe another place on this plate on the second shot.
Yeah.
Maybe do a breakdown on the second shot, and maybe even do a breakdown on the third shot. These are nice shots. I mean, they have some issues, but they are quite nice. They're quite well made, and yeah, you only have one of them with a breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's very self-explanatory. I'm happy that you were very economical with the breakdown. So I really hate when CG artists, junior CD artists, put like layer by layer and AOV by AOV. I mean, that is not a breakdown because AOVs are automatic. So it's not like it's showing me one by one. It's not telling me anything. It's
Mm-hmm.
more important for you to focus on the different color corrections and different elements like motion blur and depth of field. Less is definitely more on CG reels, and so I'm happy that you did that. That you mainly showed the color correction, the vignetting, motion blur, and depth of field, which was nice. Now the problems. Let me start with the problems, and then I'll finish in a positive note with the good things. So the problems mainly are something that I'm not sure you could fix. So the first problem you can immediately see is the sampling, like the quality of the motion blur and the quality of the CG is not up there. Like you needed a lot more samples, you needed a lot more quality, or maybe perhaps denoise the motion blur, or even maybe process the motion blur with vector blurring in 2D instead of actually, I'm not sure if you did it in 3D. Did you do the motion blur in 3D?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so maybe either a combination of both. You can either put more samples, wait more,
Mm-hmm.
or you could add denoising to just the pass that is the worst one. In this case, I'm assuming it's probably one of the light passes that are giving you a lot of noise. So you can
Yeah.
probably really heavily denoise one of them. Or you could try to put the 3D motion blur and then on top of the 3D motion blur add vector blur in Nuke to put motion blur on top of motion blur, and then cut the difference. That could also help, to try
Mm-hmm.
to minimize the noise because it becomes a bit distracting. So that's the bigger problem I think you have there. But I understand you're a student. It's going to be difficult for you to have render time. I mean, I'm already considering how long per frame were you going already on something like this
So with all the passes and everything, it was about 1.5 hours.
per frame.
So yeah,
It's not too bad. What render engine is it?
this is this is Arnold in
Okay,
Maya.
it's
Yeah.
not too bad. 1 hour and a half is pretty good. But like on the industry, we work with much higher numbers. Like we sometimes because they have a farm, of course. So people are kind
Mm-hmm.
of they just put it on the farm. So it could take 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 hours, sometimes even 24 hours. They don't even care. Most films like they have frames running at 24 hours per frame, but because they have 300 nodes on the farm, on
Mm-hmm.
one day they get 300 frames. So it's just one day because it's 300 frames being done at the same time. So, but yeah, 1 hour and a half is really good. So I think if you put the samples up or the motion blur by twice as the quality, if you end up having a 3 hour per frame or even a 4 hour per frame, just leave it over the weekend or a couple of days. It would be worth it. Now, in terms of animation, where did the animation come from, by the way? Because you didn't mention it here on the list.
Yeah, it was my friend Jonas,
Okay.
Jonas Kipfer. I studied with him, and he is focusing on animation. And he did a great job animating the elephant
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
the
it did.
weight is amazing. Also the lionesses.
It did an
Uh,
amazing job. Yeah, I mean
yeah.
the especially the elephant is going really well. There's a bit
Hmm.
of a little bit of an issue the elephant with the way the texturing is kind of like moving around and warping quite a lot on especially on the top of the elephant, which is not
Hmm.
looking very realistic. I feel like it's moving way too much, and this has to do with the fact that you have to have a very robust skeleton system and muscle system below the epidermis, and then you have like several layers of the epidermis. When they do these in film, they go that deep. They do a lot of work in trying to get the skin to slide on top of several layers of skin and fat, and then you have the skeleton below in the muscle system, and so the way it warps, it just warps in a different way. But again, I'm not expecting you to do that. I'm expecting that to happen because those kind of systems are done with several people, not just one artist. So taking into account there's only two people here, the animator and you, I think you both did an amazing job. Like with the fact that you were doing it basically on a simple rig with no render farm. I think you did fantastic. But yeah, the weight system and the muscle system is something that would be nice to have better, but you'll learn that on a company. You'll learn that on a company. The same goes for the shading of especially the tiger, like the lion on the front. The lion on the front, the one on the back looks fine, but that might be because it's covered by so much grass that like it goes a bit better. But the one on the front kind of looks to me like it's a bit too reflective and too clean. It almost like is resembling, especially you see the muscle system, it's kind of reminding me more of a dog than a lion. And I think that's a bit of a problem because the one on the back is covered, so you don't notice that. But especially when you look at the muscle system here, it looks a bit off scale, and also the specularity of it as well. It just looks a bit fake, a little bit. But again, I'm really giving you very minute details. I think you both did a fantastic job, and I'm not disowning that at all. I think this is almost, must say, Emilio, this is almost production level, and I think you should be very proud of this. Because if you had the motion blur fixed, and then if you had a more rigorous muscle system, and maybe a little tweaking on the shaders, I think this would have looked like a production shot. So I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
So if you did this alone, imagine if you had 2 or 3 people, because normally you would have a rigger and an animator and a texture artist, and then you would have a rendering artist and then a layout artist. So if you get together with a team with 4 or 5 people, then imagine how good this would look.
Yeah.
So yeah, I often say this to my students, to get together with other people, and like you did with animation, and do projects together so that you get used to how the industry works, because we never do anything alone. But yeah, I think you did great. Now, regarding the lighting and the lighting and the grading, it looks great. Looks very realistic. I mean, taking the fact that maybe what gives it away that is not real is maybe the trees, because the trees are a bit repetitive. So it would have been nice if they would have been more broken down, and you had different levels of trees, and because you kind of feel this one is the same as that one and the same as that one. They all feel very similar. And when you look at the savanna, there's always different age of trees. One is older, one is younger, one is more sick, and the other one is more healthy. And you get like a lot of different types of trees. And I think that's the only thing that, someone not working in the industry, if they watch this the first time, there's a few moments that it looks real, then others don't. Like, the trees kind of give it away. But I think you did a fantastic job. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the main problem, or the main challenge with this shot was that the savanna is such a huge environment, and we tried to make it as big or as large as possible in Maya, but you are limited in the end, or like we were, at least, or we didn't know how to do it right. And so that was like,
no,
problem.
I understand that. And I would say that from the 3 shots, I think the first one is well achieved, although it kind of like breaks your feeling of realism, because normally we don't see, we're not this close to these animals, so it kind of like feels a bit, you kind of start thinking, oh, this is probably CG because you're in a bit of a close. But I think the best achieved shot is the second one. This one is by far the best one, because the way that you have the 3 animals, and then you have all this grass, the higher grass cutting, and then the nice lighting, it is by far the best of the 3 shots. And also on this shot, you don't notice so much the trees because there's more motion blur, and then you don't see them all in one go. I think when you get to the third shot, it looks a bit more fake. And again, the fade is really annoying me because I lose so much of the shot. I don't
Yeah.
see so much of the shot, especially this nice rate, like the little running, the really nice animation of running coming through here. Now, the one thing as well that I would say is that if this was a real production, again, I'm nitpicking, you would have probably had someone doing effects, and they would have probably taken care of the grass moving with them and touching and kind of getting blown out with the wind of the animals, and also like just moving a lot and being more interactive. That would have probably been a nice touch. But yeah, I think it did a great job. Like Paul says on the chat here, he says it's very ambitious for two people, for sure. You did a great job there. Now,
Thank you.
I guess my question now, when we are looking at this is the last shot. There's no more shots, so I'll just leave this running and looping. You say compositing on your reel, but are you considering 3D? Because you're very good at 3D as well. Like, what are your thoughts? Doing both? Doing one of them? What are you thinking here?
I am open for anything actually. Like, people told us in the school, and people told me, you have to focus on something. Please just don't do generalist when you aren't that good in other things, because especially like sculpting or modeling is not like something I'm very good at. But I really like, I love 3D, and I love all the things with 3D that comes with them. And I don't know, like, I mean, I haven't worked in a professional environment yet. I'll just see what comes, I guess.
Yeah, of course. Of course. No, I understand that. I'm mentioning this because that shot is pretty strong. And in fact, so I think my advice to you would be, if you want to be a compositor, for example, if you want to be that, first thing I would do to your showreel is I would definitely put the breakdowns right after the shots. That's the first thing I would do if I was on your place. And then I would focus on getting one thing that you are kind of, well, there's maybe two things that are missing in your showreel. So you have a nice enough key here with this person, but I think this is kind of not enough. I hoped that I would have seen a more advanced skiing shot, where you have someone running, or someone on the bicycle, or maybe the hair is flowing around, or maybe someone is doing an action scene. Would have been nice if you had some kind of more action-driven piece of green screen to showcase. And you don't even need to comp it to anything. You can just key it and just show the alpha. That's it. You don't actually necessarily have to do a complex shot. And with that in mind, I think also I'm missing a pure rotoscoping shot, like a shot that would need to be very heavy in rotoscoping, because those are the... And then third but not least, like, if you had the time, and I'm not saying you need to, but a cleanup shot would be nice, where you do proper cleanup, where we're either removing a lot of things from objects, not just putting in a person, but like more things as well. I think the cleanup is already very well presented with this shot, but definitely one keying shot, a more advanced keying shot and a roto shot would really help your showreel. Now, in terms of now, that's for if it was compositing. And I think the order is pretty good. I feel like you did a good job with the order. If anything, maybe I would say maybe have the CG shot a bit earlier, because the CG shot is really good, and not start with it though, because I think although it's your best shot, probably if you want to be a compositor, you don't want to start with CG, but maybe have it second or middle of the showreel or something, because at the end is a bit tough, because if someone doesn't like your showreel, they'll switch it off, and then they never even see the CD shot, So try to put the worst thing you have at the end or something, or one of the worst, one of the two. But I think it would be nice. Maybe just move the CG shot to, after the dinner party, and that's it. Now, this is for compositing. If you want to be a CG artist, then of course, then you're missing a lot of things. Depends on what you want to do, of course, but then definitely would have to have at least one more shot, or at least two, to showcase your CG capabilities. And I would advise you to maybe do something completely different. So if you are presenting your CG skills, you've now done animals very successfully. Now, so then next up, move on to vehicles or cars or ships, boats, planes, cars, whatever, that it could be mechanical based. So you would have animals and then you would have mechanical based. And then maybe another third shot could be just objects, like phones or televisions or consoles or microphone, anything that would be little small CG objects that would be on a shot. So perhaps the best way would be you have this full CG shot, so that's done. The cars slash mechanical slash vehicles slash airplane shot should be an integration. So you should have a plate and then you put the vehicle in or you put the plane in so that you have live action with CG. The same goes for the object, so that you have maybe on a table you put a lamp, or on a table you put a phone, or you just try to put things on top. So, and that's would be if you want to be a CG artist. I would just focus on these three types of shots. 3 shots is enough. One you already have, and then the other one would be mechanical vehicles, and then the other one would be like just small objects and small props that would be on the shots. And if you can do both showreels, even better, because then you could send the showreel to the compositing application and the second showreel as an extra. And the same goes for CG. You can send it to the CG application and the compositing one as an extra. And then you would have 2 showreels for depending on the application you're doing. And you're giving yourself the best chance possible to get a job. Because compositors do really good at being generalists in CG, because then they can help the rendering engines and the lighting and rendering at the end, especially with the multipass compositing. So that would be it. Like... this is, of course, if you are thinking about environmental lighting and rendering. I'm assuming since you brought in a friend, you don't want to do animation. So that's what I'm assuming. So yeah, animation is a different world. It's a different ballpark altogether. It's like a different art altogether. So
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
yeah. So I guess that's my advice to you. And I guess now over to you. Like anything else you want to ask, or anything else you would like to say, or even ask if you want to. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really happy with all the notes, and I will start working on it. I already started working on a Rotoshop shot. So that's good, I guess. And no, all in all, I'm really happy that you t took a look at it, and yeah, I don't know. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. I'm very happy to see it, and you're always welcome to come back to the stream. Don't worry. With the updated reel, we've had many people that came back as well. So yeah, keep that in mind as well. And yeah, and thank you so much for joining. Really, it was really appreciated to see, and you're very talented, and good luck with everything. And if you ever need anything, just let me know. Just holler. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem. So I'll see you later then, and yeah, I'll see you around. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Okay, so thank you so much for that. That was great. Really enjoyed that. So I guess now we're gonna do a break. So I already said on the beginning we have 3 showreels today. So we'll do a break. After the break, we'll do the first giveaway. So I'll do the first giveaway of the course, and then we'll have another giveaway at the end. So thank you so much for everyone here. I can see that there is like 70 people watching. Well, technically there's 69 people watching. I didn't want to say that. But, and now I just said it. So thank you so much. A lot of love on the chat here for Emilio's work, and congratulations. People seem to really enjoy it. Yeah, we're going to have the second show reel after the break. You already know how the drill, how this goes. The only time this didn't happen was on the Visual Effects World Day. So we're going to do a break for 10 minutes. Remember, it's always the same thing. And I am, yeah, and when we be back, we'll do the show reel review. I actually forgot. I forgot to put what did you say? Today, what is not the list for gifts away? What do you mean? Like, I don't really get what you mean. Yeah, for the giveaway, I'll put the link here, because I don't think I put the link a long time ago. I think I forgot. Yeah, that's right, for the break. I need to like switch on. It's been a while since I've done a stream, so I'm kind of like a bit, I'm a bit rusty. To apologize for that. I am definitely a bit rusted. So I'm going to like put in the typical GIF we have when we have a break, because I completely forgot about that. So let's just see here. So we have, yeah, apologies for that. I'm just a bit forgetful, I guess. So that would be that one, and that would be hub. And so let me just give me just 1 second, because I need to like do this. Okay. So black magic up, and then I start this thing. Okay, there you go. So now we have it on the hub. Okay, cool. Never mind what I said. So yeah, so like I said, you already know the drill. We do 10-minute breaks. Stretch your legs, get some water, relax your eyes for a bit, do a responsible thing of getting up of your chair. We'll be right back in 10 minutes. I'll put a timer so you can do the same as well. So we'll be back in 10 minutes, and then we'll have the giveaway, and then we'll do the second reel. So thank you so much, and I'll see you all very soon. Okay, we are back now. Again, thank you so much for being here. You can see a lot of people on the chat still. So much appreciated for all the love, kindness, and support that I get every time I do a stream. Much appreciated. So let's just continue with this. Let's just continue. Remember, we have a giveaway. Someone was on the chat asking about that. So yes, we do have. We're doing 2 giveaways of my new course. So the first one will be done now. So if you want to sign up to the giveaway, just do it right away. I'm going to do it now. And then I'll have a second giveaway at the end of the stream. So let's see how many people signed up. Cool. We have 50 people signed up for the giveaway, which is great. So remember, if you're already a student, you can still sign up. And then I'll give you the other Nuke course I have. I'll give you... So keep that in mind, that I do have several courses. Okay, so oh, I have like a little warning here of, oh yeah, there we go, caching is done now. Okay, so let's do the giveaway. I'm gonna roll the dice for the first giveaway. Remember, a lot more people are now live on the stream. I just wanted to remember everyone that we are going to be here every 2 weeks. These are the streams sponsored by BenQ. Thank you so much for BenQ for the support. And I was just announcing on the beginning that, you guys all probably remember that I used to do a lot of Nuke compositing streams on Twitch. Not doing that anymore. So I started doing Twitch streams on 2018. And then I did it for 3 years, I think. I did hundreds of streams there. I am going to return to the Nuke streams this month, but it will be here on YouTube. So I'm going to have both the showreels and the streams of Nuke here on the same channel. I just thought that it's easier to just be here. Twitch is just the downfall right now, and YouTube is also much more higher quality. I'm actually streaming in 60 frames now as well, which is much nicer. So I think I'll just stick around here. Now, with that in mind, let's just do the first winner, and then the links for the courses. That's fine. If you're interested in buying my course, you can also have that, of course. That's the link of my courses. I have 2 courses right now, and I have a 3rd course coming in. So I have a Nuke compositing course, and then I have a workshops work course, which is ongoing, and then I have also a VFX Supervision course coming soon. So let's draw the winner, the first winner, and then we'll see where we are. Let's just draw the first winner and see who wins. Okay, so I hope I pronounce your name correctly. Let's see here. So, okay. So we're going to have, okay, so the first winner of the Nuke course is, so I mean, I don't really know how to pronounce your name since you have this weird tag, but the winner of the first Nuke course, the one now that we're doing, we're going to do... Joseph is asking the difference. So the first course, Joseph, is a Nuke compositing course, a full compositing course. So it's 150 classes, and it goes through all the things of Nuke until the very end. The second course is workshops only. So basically it's me compositing production level shots. There are 7 workshops. And so the first one is like a step-by-step of learning Nuke, and the second one is workshops, which is a bit more advanced. So that's the second course. The 3rd course will be VFX Supervision. Okay, so as I was saying, the winner is Bruno. I guess it's Brunitushi. I think that's the name. That's the name I have here on the thing. So congratulations, Bruno. I think you're called Bruno. At least I can notice that from your email. Are you here? Are you here? I hope you're here. If you are, yeah, so Anirudka, there are a lot more than 3 classes. We on the course tour, the workshops is ongoing. So there is 7 classes for one of the workshops, and there's 3 classes for the second workshop. And then, so those 2 workshops are, no, sorry, one workshop is full. It's finished, 9 classes. Second workshop is almost finished with 7 classes. Third workshop is halfway through with 5 classes. And then the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th workshops are still ongoing. So it's almost halfway through right now. So that's why it's a pre-order. So congratulations, are you here? I just hope Bruni is here. Is Bruni is here? It's not you, Bruno, I guess. So is Bruni here? Is he here? Or they here? I don't even know. Because I don't have a name. So, come on, say something. Tell us, are you here? If you're not here, I'll just like roll the dice again. It's not a problem. Okay. I don't think you are here. I don't think so. I'm not sure you're here. I don't see you reacting on the chat. So I'll just roll the dice again. I'll just roll the dice again. Let's just do that. So, yeah, I guess he's not here. I mean, it's fine. I mean, doesn't really care, I guess. I'm joking. It's fine. I can just run it again. I usually do that anyway. So I'll run it again. It's not a problem. Okay, who is the next winner? Oh, wow. This is pretty weird. This is pretty weird. Wow, another Bruno one. What the hell? Jesus, I kid you not. The winner of the Nuke course is Bruno again. Another Bruno. Please remember, I am actually using a randomizer on the software, but for some strange reason, I got another Bruno. I guess this is the day of the Brunos. So now I have this Bruno. What the hell? I get 2 Brunos in a row. What the hell? Is there just Brunos on the chat? Is that what's going on here? We just have a bunch of Brunos. So, is this Bruno here? Oh, it's still not that Bruno. Oh my god, I can't believe we have a third Bruno on the chat. So we have at least 3 Brunos. Okay, that's great. So yeah, so this is Bruno Barufaldi. Bruno Barufaldi. Is Bruno Barufaldi here? If Bruno Barufaldi is not here, come on. What are the what are the chances of getting 2 Brunos in a row? Oh my god. Is he not here either? Oh, come on. Ugh. This is weird. Yeah, the randomizer is a software called, it's not a software, it's a website called Beleem, which is a software, it's a website to do giveaways. And I pay for it. It's paid. Man, is the other Bruno not here either? Oh, here he is. Yeah, he's here. I can see his name there. So Bruno Barufaldi. So Bruno, congratulations. You've won the course. This is awesome. This is really good. I'm really happy for you. And I guess you. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have it on here. Were you hearing me? I thought it was strange because you didn't see me. But you think, congratulations, you've won the Nuke course. Yeah, yeah. I know. But wait a minute. There's something weird going on here. There's something really strange because both Brunos, well, Bruni and Bruno. Now this is the second one. They're both from Argentina. What the hell? Like, are these the same? Are these 2 the same people, or is it both of you? Then it's a multiverse of Brunos. Oh my god, that is amazing! I can't believe that. I guess it's the same Bruno then, because both of them are from. Yeah, you were saying about the lens. So this is a lens I put up. I put up this lens because Ian Fels was here just with me, next to me, and he was yesterday, and we were doing some VFX Notes episodes, and we did an episode about Poor Things, and so that's why I did that, because I have it like this. You see, I'm going to show you. So I have it like that. You see. because we were doing a Poor Things episode, I set up the lens like that on 8mm, which is what happens on the episode as well. So that's why I did that. That's why that's still there. I don't think it will be there next time. Gonna just like roll it again a bit more, closer to. It would be like that. Yeah, so so congratulations, Bruni and Bruno, I guess. You've won the giveaway. Yeah, I know. I'm guessing it's multiple accounts. I don't care if people do multiple accounts. I don't really mind. It's fine. Or it's another Bruno. I don't know. Now, maybe next time, I'm going to do another giveaway at the end of the stream. Maybe next time we'll get the other Bruno. That would be nice. Okay, anyway. So we've done this now. This is done. And so we'll have another giveaway at the end of the stream. So let's just jump into the next showreel review, okay? So I'm going to just start up the showreel review and see if we're all set there. Hopefully we are, and then we can start up. I fixed the thing with the camera, by the way, with the stream, which is cool. See if they are here. I'm going to just double check if you're here. So, so apologies if it's taking a while. So the next up is Nick. So Nick, so sorry that it took a while to get to you, but we are ready now, and I can see Nick is already here. So yeah, cool beans, as usually they say. So Nick, can you hear me? Nick, can you hear me? I definitely can see you here. Oh yeah, here we go. Are you coming? Now you're arriving. Yeah, at least I. Ah, there you go. I can see you now. Okay, let me just put sound on you. So say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just perfectly, Nick. So okay. Apologies, as I explained on the last caller, I can't have the same camera for both the stream, and I still need to fix that. So apologies that you're looking at me with this really weird 8mm. But at least you can see me. At least you can see me, which is good. So I'm basically going to share this to everyone so that everyone sees it, and hopefully we get there. So yeah, so everyone can see you, you can see me, and everyone can hear you as well. So Nick, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing for joining, and yeah.
I knew this was going to be a public roast, but. Last one. That guy's gonna get a job in like 2 months.
Don't be like that. Everyone is on a journey, and they have different journeys. You know, like don't worry about that. And no one is gonna give you any roast. Don't worry. No, but I understand what you mean. So Nick, why don't you tell everyone where you're calling from, what's up with you, and what do you do, and yeah, just tell people a bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm calling from LA, the mecca of VFX,
yes,
as it were. A little less now than it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, that is true.
Especially after 3 years ago.
Cool. And what do you do? Basically, you're calling from LA, like you said. Like, are you full-time composer? Are you looking for work? What's going on?
I'm looking for work. I've never been able to be a full-time VFX artist. I don't know what to call myself. I can only really consider myself a generalist because I've never had the opportunity to work either in a studio or with a team.
Okay.
I've been solo the entire time because I've never been able to find a team. And my only clients ever have been indie artists who need VFX, like team level VFX. But of course, they're indie artists. They don't have the money or resources for that or organization. So they get me. And so you need simulations, and then you need to composite those simulations. Then you need the sound editing to make the simulations really fit. And you need someone on set, and that's me, and that's me.
So how long have you been doing this then, Nick?
6 years.
6 years, okay. And what's...
Still going, though. Yeah. a few gigs a year at most.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. And what's
College was kind of a bust.
okay? And what's
Yeah,
your
my
plan? What's your plan? Like you want to move forward and work on a facility? Do you just want to become better at compositing and working with more clients? What's your objective?
I'm trying to move from client work to direct to client work to a studio of some kind.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
I need to get, but I need to get something like that and start working with a team, and I'm not really sure how to start that.
Okay. Okay. I see. I see. Okay. Cool. Well, I mean, let's start looking at your work then. And so I'm gonna just really quickly here, just give me just 1 second, because I'm gonna share. People are now watching not you, but they're watching just my main camera.
Now, occasionally, a few things in my reel has some various things like an animation from someone else or things like that, but
Yeah.
most of it, except for the actual film footage, is 100% my VFX.
Okay, cool. Excellent. I'm gonna share my screen so that you see the review. So obviously remember that what you see on the stream is very delayed. So you might as well just check the review that I'm doing here with you. Yeah. And
I have the chat popped out in the corner, so
okay, cool.
I'm only looking at this for the
Okay, cool.
actual
Cool.
review.
So I'm just gonna like set up this here a little bit, or we'll be both of us here. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go back and for everyone to see. Okay, cool. So I'll put it looping. I won't put sound
Yeah,
because
turn
I get
the sound off, please.
Yeah.
I figured out afterwards that it is copyrighted.
Okay.
Even though there was a yeah.
Okay. No, yeah, I get that problem all the time. So I just solved it by not ever having sound, and that's my solution.
Good move.
Last in December we did the World VFX Day, which was a 12-hour stream, and
I was there.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And it took me weeks to get everything cleared. Like weeks of getting all the music cleared and getting YouTube to not bring the stream down. It literally took me like weeks of backwards and forwards with YouTube, and also backwards and forwards with the companies of the music, and because of all the showreels we showed, all of them had music, and it was so painful to just get the stream. But I'm very proud that the entire 12 hours were not claimed, not even for a second. So the whole thing was smooth because we spent weeks tweaking them, of course. But yeah, music on YouTube is a really difficult thing to do. But anyway, never mind that. That's another story for another day.
Lucky for me, I posted my reel on YouTube, and I'm not intending to make money with it, and the band isn't alive anymore, so they can't exactly claim it. Oh, that's a bit morbid.
No,
it's not good.
On videos is a bit easier because they claim it, and then you can always like appeal and you can do things. But I was more worried because it was a live stream, and on a live stream they do allow you to do claims and allow to do appeals, but they just bring down the stream right away. So it's not even that easy. But yeah, okay. So your showreel is very large. Let's just go through it.
It's too large. My next one is going to be shorter and not include a few of these.
I would
shots.
definitely recommend you to have it a bit shorter. So let's start with the first shot. Like, why don't you tell us a little bit about this one? So it says all VFX, custom sim, lighting, compositing. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah. So this is a short film where basically a mannequin sits around listening to people's issues, never talking, but can talk. And when this woman starts talking to him, she starts and joining in his routine of like listening in on people's issues. She's becoming a mannequin, a bystander too.
I see.
And so I was brought on because the first VFX artist went radio silent and they needed the work done now. So
cool. And so
that was my first real this was my first real foray into 3D to live action, and it ended up being like body replacement, which is tough. Look at this. I mean, I'm proud of it.
No,
I
you
did it in
should.
Blender. I
You should.
downloaded Blender, figured it out, and did this in about a week.
Cool. And so you did all
I'm a
aspects
very
then.
fast learner.
Yeah, you did all aspects of it and everything, and that's cool. I
Yeah,
think actually you
I
did a
got the
great job.
footage. I've I've never actually in fact, there is one shot that I've ever had where I knew which camera it was, but not the lens.
I mean, I have to say,
Indie, you don't normally get any information on any of the shots whatsoever.
yeah,
And
yeah,
normally there's no green screens or any of that. So
yeah,
I've
exactly.
never actually had footage from anyone but myself use a green screen.
I guess that's the thing. If you're actually on set, then you can have the information. If you're not going to be there, then you'll never get it. That's the thing, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I think you did a good job. I mean, obviously, it's not very photoreal, but I think it's, and it doesn't, it slides a little bit, especially on the arm. But I think, if you start thinking about like how much work it is to just do this with one single person, I think you should be proud of it, and I think you did a great job. And so
There was
congratulations for
basically
that.
nothing to track on that hand.
Oh
Her
yeah.
arm is like flawless. I was like, come on, have a freckle or something.
And what's going on here with this skin shot? Is this like a
Oh,
full CG shot?
that's no, it's not full CG.
They had a macro
That's
shot of the.
actually that was a 4K shot punched in to like 720p because that was the final resolution or something.
Okay.
And yeah, they wanted me to they gave a bunch of close-up shots and said we need 3 of these super close-ups to be this plastic like coming out of her pores and covering her arm.
Yeah.
And this was one of the best ones that I got. I did my best to match the lighting direction, and everything. But this was done in Blender before Blender had like the principled shader or a lot of photoreal stuff in it. So
And, and so if you're saying that, like, how long ago was this then?
oh, this would be like 2018, back in Blender 7 point or 2.79,
I see.
2.78, somewhere around there.
Okay, cool. Like I said, I think it's not very for real, and it would have the direction of it, of course, looks cool, and I think if it was supposed to be more photorealistic, would have been nice to have like the pores of hair kind of like popping out of it and then it getting swollen by it and feeling a bit more attached to the skin, which is
No, but this is not a simulation either.
no, I know. That's why. That's
Yeah.
what I was gonna say. Like,
Oh,
I think you did a great job, but obviously, it required to be done in a different way. It required to be done in a very very different way. But I think taking into account that you had a 720p plate and it was like an indie production, I think you did a fantastic job, and I'm sure they're very happy with it, aren't they?
oh yeah, it actually it got really high up in the film festival. I'm kind of proud of it.
That's cool, man. That's great. This is still
Yeah,
the
and then
same
you
shot.
see the
Yeah, that's still the same
yeah,
production as well. That's the name of the project, right? Take the next bus, honey, isn't it? That's the name of the film.
yep.
Cool.
And it's still on Vimeo. You can watch it.
Oh, cool. Excellent. Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
I'm gonna definitely go
There's
in
a
and watch that.
if you look on my YouTube channel, this reel is one of the ones, and links to anything that is currently online is actually in the description of my video.
Cool.
I make sure to do that.
Cool. Excellent. Well, I feel free to post it on.
It's fun to watch. It is. You know what? I can.
Yeah, feel free
actually.
to post it on the chat. People would love to see it, I'm sure.
Let's see.
Feel free to do that.
It is. Google is putting things in my search bar. No, I'm not Nick Serrani. Jesus. There we go. Yeah, I just nuked my history, so now it's thinking that I'm everyone but myself. Remember when Google actually just gave you what you asked for? There we go. Where is... And there we go.
Did you share it with me on Zoom or did you put it on the chat?
Oh, I put it on the chat.
Okay, cool. Still not here, but maybe it's going to show up soon. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's not showing up yet.
Oh.
Doesn't matter. Like, we can check it later.
Oh, wait. I'm in the zooming. Sorry, I'm terrible with Zoom. I'm not a zoomer. There we go.
Oh, okay. It's here. Okay, so I'll copy it. I'll copy it and put it on the chat. Here is the film Nick is talking about. Nick is talking about... Okay, cool. So just put it here on the chat of the YouTube. So there you go. People can go and watch it. Cool, man.
Full disclosure, all of this stuff in my reel, I actually like the finished product more than my contribution to it.
Well, I was going to
just
say...
I'm not sure if that's natural or not, but...
I was going to say that this shot is actually my favorite of them all. Like, I think you did a great job with especially
this one is my favorite, too.
Yeah.
I worked so freaking... Actually, this one is a redo. The original one had some mesh issues because all this is a real fancy, super heavy Boolean operation to reveal it.
Yeah, but
the original one had some Boolean artifacts, so some popping black dots all over the place. So I redid it just last year, and then this is composited in Nuke.
I see.
So this one shot is different.
Cool. Yeah, no, it looks great, and especially the fact that you've actually really nailed the poruses and the texturing, all these little details that you have here going on top of the skin and then getting flatter. It's really nice. It's really, really, really well made. Yeah. Did a good job with the roto as well, and the integration, and also the shadow, the recreation of the shadow
shadows
as well.
Ended up... See, I changed to the new, more photorealistic version of Blender's, not compositing, this was a new, but rendering. And I noticed that the shadows looked way more subtle and completely different in the newer one.
I see. Cool.
So they did do a lot of work on that. I'm in contact with some of the Blender devs, so...
Oh, cool.
I help them with some volume rendering stuff.
Cool. So tell us a little bit about the next shot here. So we have We Won't Be Long, and we have all VFX, fluid simulation, rotoscoping, animation, lighting, and compositing. So what's going on here? What kind of project is this?
They forgot to make the road wet for the rain scene. This guy gets stuck in a storm, and this guy saves him while he's walking down the road freezing. Like they got the smoke and the foggy breath and everything, but they forgot to wet the road.
So they didn't have a rain machine either, right?
Nope, they didn't have rain.
Yeah,
the rain, it's gonna show up terribly on the stream. Just saying.
Yeah. So that's the shot, right? That's that is the actual real plate, isn't it?
Yes, that's the real plate.
Yeah.
That's the real plate, and this is it with their color grade. I did not do the color grading on this, but yeah. So I had to like rotoscope him out. His lighting didn't really match the road, but I couldn't change that much.
Okay.
If there's one thing I would add now, it would be some reflection under him for the road.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, so let's start from scratch. I think this shot is great. Like the lighting the light interaction with the wetness and the rain, and also the way that they gonna ping all these little drops that you have on the floor. This is looking fantastic. I think this shot is great.
Because of the angle of the headlights, I could not make the rain look right unless all of those drops were 3D models.
Yeah, because of the speculars and because of the reflections.
Yeah, so if you look in the beginning, that those those are actually just canned repeating simulations that are popping in and out constantly.
Yeah, I see that. You can kind of see it here.
So,
Those are the lines.
no,
Beginning on the
before
shot,
that,
yeah,
I
yeah,
show
yeah.
the actual like models.
Yeah. Just rotating
yeah.
here a bit.
Because I know the other common way to do that is to use just tiny flat plates with normals, but
You wouldn't get as good lighting from
No.
that at all. Like, so this is really a good choice. Yeah. Yeah, this is fantastic work.
oh, and
agree.
I had 1 week to do this.
Well, it's independent movie for you. Yeah, I guess
Oh,
I guess
yeah.
you're right. It would have been nice if you had like more reflections and more things there. The only
But
thing
he's
that
not in the light part of it, at
Yeah.
least. So
the only thing that
I got
that
lucky.
the only thing that I think could be improved is that because they're all kind of like you say repeating, and I think you did 8 of them, wasn't it? It was 8 of them or something. I think it's
It
no, it's
was
more.
16.
It's more 16. Yeah, 16.
Or yeah,
Because you have 16 of them and they're not the same but they're similar, and then you repeat them quite a lot. I feel like you
I didn't
kind
have
of
access to simulations outside of Blender, and they are lacking in Blender. So that is like the most variation I could get.
yeah, well, I understand that, but that's I'm just giving you the feedback if someone was
yeah.
looking at your showreel, because they don't know the history behind it. People, when they judge a showreel, they judge it as it is. They judge what they're watching. They don't know the story behind it. They don't know why it
Kind of
wasn't
hard mode.
work. And
They can't pull any punches, I guess.
no, because no one will ever give you that kind of time to explain or to give an excuse or to say, oh, you know, this computer was this, or oh, this simulation didn't work, or I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. Unfortunately, in the industry, when you're like on an interview, they don't really care. They just want to see the final shot, and there's no. If you start like explaining too much to them, they might switch off. Like they might just like,
Yeah.
well, you know, he's just like giving us excuses of not doing it, because they don't know for sure if you actually couldn't do it, or if you weren't good enough to do it, or if you were lazy to do it or not. You know, they don't know enough of
Yeah.
you, and in some way, when we have that kind of situation on an interview, what usually happens, I've done that in the past, is I bring in the person, the artist, for a couple of weeks to test and then to see how it works and how it goes. And most of the time it works out fine, you know. So I'm just like mentioning this from like a high level.
I can only hope someone will be so merciful towards me.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I don't think they are. Like that's the problem.
Yeah.
Usually, the industry
Yeah,
is
no,
quite
it's,
because there's so many people.
cutthroat.
Yeah, so many people are sending showreels, and so many people are sending in work that they are very quick to just skip and go to the next one.
I'm
So
looking at
just-
these LinkedIn jobs. I'm looking at them. 400 applicants for a job. It's ridiculous.
Well, you know, but there's also a factor. It's not just the hard work and the reel and everything. There's also a factor of luck on all of this, for sure. There are also luck, because it tends to be that maybe the first reels get picked because they were first or everything. There's always a bit of luck. But apart from all of that, let me just mention what I'm trying to say.
Oh,
so,
sorry.
I feel like you notice that they are a bit repetitive. So, in the future of doing something like this, I would always recommend you to try to break it up as more as you can, because right now, I think perhaps maybe you have there are too repetitive drops, and also maybe a little bit too many of them, and it feels a bit fake because of that. And I think also the motion of them, they're feeling like they're not the same kind of speed of the plate. There's something, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but there's something that disconnects me from that pass. And it's a very, very small amount of time that this happens. It's just on the beginning of the plate. Once we get in all this light in, and then you see all the rain, it kind of goes away, and then it becomes quite photoreal. So I think you did a fantastic job with the shot. I just, you know, if I was doing something, if this was being done in a production, or if you had more time, because 1 week is very little time to do something like this, I can tell you that. Now, if you had more time, it would definitely have been nicer if you had more variation, and maybe drops that would be much bigger, others much tinier. It's just more variation, because I think 16 is not enough to do the variation on the entire street. But having said all of that, Nick, for 1 week of work, you did fantastic. I think this looks fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
so, I don't really know. I'm just giving you feedback from a high horse, like from a higher level, just looking down and kind of like just trying to understand what the shot is. So that would be what I would say.
Well, that's what I'm here for, because I spent a week looking at this shot and 2 months reviewing it myself. I've seen it too much to be unbiased, so that's why I'm here.
No, I don't think you should be too harsh on yourself. I think it's really well made, and I feel like if you could, the only thing really that I noticed myself, because I think also the lighting direction and the specular, you did a really good job with that. It's really just the variation of it, and I think regarding the reflection of the person, I don't think that's too much of a deal. I don't really miss it. I think it's working fine. If anything, just maybe consider that maybe you should have like had less drops around him, because you would probably cut the drops, because the drops would hit him, and so you would have had, it's almost like he becomes an umbrella for the place where he is. And so I would have said that maybe there should have been less drops where he's walking, so especially the drop down here below his legs and arm, like all of, like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them wouldn't hit the floor because they would have hit him. So that's also making it a bit like look weird here, because you see this drop below here wouldn't drop there, it would have dropped on the shoe. That drop also wouldn't showed up there. So you should have done like a little mask around him and just and removed through the path of where he is. You would have removed the drops there. And
I'm going to be making a new reel in a few weeks, so I might go back in and do a little quick trash mat around it.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, I was going to say that you don't even need to do the 3D again. You just need
this
to
one was
roto,
done in
roto
DaVinci
out.
Fusion, so it'll be easy to change.
Cool. So you just
yeah, I've done basically all of these in a different program. It's the people that's how working with indie is. Every time you need to get a new program.
So, but you said that you use DaVinci, so what? But you're meaning like Fusion, right? Is that what you mean?
Oh, DaVinci Fusion, it's basically their try on being Nuke.
No, I know what it is. Like, what I meant like is, like, I wasn't sure if you did it in Fusion or like layered on the timeline directly, or you inside of the grade. No, you did this in Fusion, right? As a composite, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fusion is a really good software. I mean, I used to use Fusion before I did Nuke, and pretty much it has everything Nuke has. It's just that it's a little bit more limited in
It's
CG.
finicky.
Yeah, it's finicky. It's a bit more limited in terms of visual effects, in terms of CG approach with AOVs and passes. And then the major...
You need to do the real due diligence beforehand if you're doing it with 3D.
Yes. And also, like, the problem with Fusion, and that's why it's not used in the industry that much in large scale VFX, is because it's not very easy to kind of customize and deploy on a facility with all the artists. And I guess the biggest problem, because most Nuke facilities, they have a lot of custom code on it. Nuke is not really vanilla; it has a lot of things on top that has been developed for years and years, and so. And also, of course, the last thing with this is that you can find more easily Nuke artists. And so it's also going to be a bit more tricky for Fusion to progress, because there's not a lot of production level people using Fusion. Yeah. So it's a problem of itself. It's kind of like a catch-22, really, because it becomes a bit of a problem. But yeah, anyway, I think this shot is great. Let's just move on, because we're not even halfway through.
Sorry.
Okay, so... lighting, material,
towards the end, you'll find a bunch to skip through real quickly. So,
so this is a message from the moon, una mensaje de luna. So this is Greenpeace Italy. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. Like
a dude from Italy called me up for this one out of nowhere. It was great.
Looks great. Like so. What is it this for? Is it the commercial that they did or something?
It's just a Greenpeace infomercial. In the end, the top of the little lunar lander opens up with a flag of a message. We only have one planet, just showing Earth in the background.
Cool. I have to say, Nick, this looks fantastic, and I think that
I did not do the models on this one.
Yeah, but that's fine.
I only did a number of the materials, lighting direction,
Yeah.
like the weather balloon material.
Yeah, and you did lighting and
And
rendering, I'm assuming.
the simulation for the weather balloon's shape and stuff.
It doesn't say that there, but did you do the compositing as well?
No.
Okay.
This series of shots was largely out of my hands. I was mostly working on materials and materials modeling and a little consultation for like animations.
Okay, cool. So then I'll reserve to that then only, because I was going to give you some compositing notes because I thought you were also doing the compositing of it. So that's fine. Compositing wise, it's missing a lot of things. That's fine, but not big things, but just a lot of things. You know, like which is not your department, but you know, it's missing the foam hitting the ship. It's missing the overhaul lens distortions and the lens diffusions and the more realistic lighting coming through a lens. Although it's very good work, it's just missing that little extra 10% to make it look exquisite.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of if we look at the lighting and the material,
we noticed that.
Yeah.
This is another thing that I won't be able to tell them, but I also had to make sure all of this was renderable within an hour and a half on a 2013 MacBook Air.
Oh, great.
So
Great.
all of these shots took less than like 5 hours to render on that machine.
Yeah.
You'll see why that's important later.
Now, in terms of if we focus just on what you did, which was lighting and material.
Oh, yeah.
So first up, the positives. In terms of lighting, I think you did a great job. I like the lighting. I think it's quite well achieved. It's photoreal. It's actually blooming and exposed well, and it's very overexposed, which is nice as well, which is what would happen if you would be on the sea like this with a really sunny day. So I think light-wise,
That's
like
the one
it.
good thing I got from my school. They told me they had a VFX program. They did not. They had a very traditionalist, like Francis Ford Coppola style cinematography program.
Yeah.
So what I learned real hard was how film looked.
Okay.
And
Okay,
so
Let me,
used-
Nick. You need to let me finish as well. Like, let me just finish what I'm saying. So because I lose track of what I'm trying to explain, and then you can say something as well. So in terms of the lighting, it looks great. In terms of the material, which is the other thing you did, I think you did a good job with the materials, but I think you're missing quite a lot of dirt and debris and actually harshness of the sea, because a ship like this would probably be, and I know you put a little bit of it, but I think it would have a lot more dirt and grime and more, like the bottom you did a good job, but it would have to have more of it on the lower section of the ship, because the water hitting it all the time, it would destroy a bit more the paint job, and it would make it more with grime and dirt, especially from the sea. And then the rest of the ship is way too clean. This ship looks like it came just out of the factory just now, and it just needs more dirt. You need more dirt on these doors, you need more dirt on the windows. It just relatively needs scratches, anything you can do to make it look like it's used, because the problem you have right now is, especially on the first and second shot, it almost starts to look like a toy because it's so clean. So that's what's missing from my view in terms of an extra layer of materials that you should have added on top of this as well. You know, that's my view on this. But yeah, go ahead. Tell me, what do you think?
no, you're right. I've looked at it several times, but I don't have access to a lot of the 3D, so I can't touch that up anymore.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean,
No.
it's not a problem at all. Like the shot is the shot as it is.
But I agree completely with you.
Yeah, it requires all of that. And to be honest, like some of those things could have been done in comp as well. You could have projected some stuff. You could have like added UV projections. Some of the stuff could have been done in comp. Like I said on the beginning, compositing wise, this is really lackluster. It's really missing a lot of compositing bells and whistles, and especially, I mean, let's not even forget that. Where's the trail of the ship? Is the ship stopped? Is it actually completely static on the ocean? Because there's no no difference between the water and hitting the ship. So that's also missing. That could have been a compositing thing, but also could have been a simulation thing as well. But yeah, let's now go back to the weather balloon. So the weather balloon looks really nice. It's very stylized, but tell me a little bit about this. Like, what's going on this plate? Is this like some footage, a photo, or is it from you as well?
Background is CC0 footage. It just happened to be perfect, and why work extra hard if you have a perfect image for the shot that you need already?
I guess so. You're right, probably.
The photo is literally just a lit background in 3D so that a little of it could show through the weather balloon.
I see. I think regarding that, I think the see-through aspect of it, I would say that the balloon itself, the texture of the balloon, would probably diffuse a little bit more the reflection behind it. So I would say that this is a bit too sharp to be see-through, because right now it looks almost like it's a flat surface, like a cutaway, instead of actually having like thickness into it. So I think it would have contributed to diffusing and blurring, especially this line of shape, because you see the clouds look exactly as sharp in here as they do inside. So because this is not a glass balloon, I feel like you should have made it thicker, the refraction that is inside, if this is a refracted material. I don't know if it is an actual refracted material that you did.
We tried physically modeling it to see how much it would change things, but it didn't really, and we couldn't figure out quite how to get the material to act like that without just acting almost as if it was completely opaque. It was a very thin margin that we didn't really have the time to refine.
Okay. And so tell me a little bit about these shots. These shots, of course, the moon, it's the same project as well. And then it gets to the Earth as well. This is all the same project.
The Earth shot is like my magnum opus on this little film, because that shot is basically, it's not my file, technically, but I got the Earth texture, I made the atmosphere shader, and that's what it is.
Okay, I see. Because I'm gonna be a bit quicker now, because we still have another person to review as well, and this is a very long showreel, so I'm gonna group them a bit, and I'm just gonna give you some notes of some of them. So this one here, I think it's the one that is less achieved. I feel like there are some problems with this shot. In terms of, first of all, the actual simulation that you have of the smoke looks too wispy. It looks too much like smoke. Usually when you have like these disconnects in NADSA, they are first of all, they're not as gray, they're a bit more white, and also they would be more detailed. They would have less blurriness into them. I feel like you're losing detail, you're losing resolution on your simulation, and so it looks a little bit fake. And then when you go into the actual material of the actual rocket, I guess this is the rocket itself is potentially, and this is of course not your problem because it's the materials, it's the compositing problem, it's a bit too sharp, and it's a bit too not integrated well enough into the atmosphere of the Earth and everything. It should have been a little bit more well integrated. And so this Earth looks great. This is really definitely the prettiest shot of all this entire section that you have here.
It took so long getting the atmosphere to actually remove the blue light to give it that golden glow.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great, and I like that you have the shadows and also the clouds and producing shadows. It looks really, really nice. It's a very good shot. This one here, I think your material is good, although I would just say that again, I guess the same thing goes for the ship, as like I was talking on the ship. I think this is a bit too clean, especially because we probably had there would have been like some propeller here and some smoke and some it would have been a bit more greened up, like with grim and dirt and destruction. It's a little bit too clean, and even the reflection is perfect. You would have had a layer of like basically dirt, debris, and smoke, like almost like smudging that would have not made so much like a mirror surface. I think it's too clean. So that's and that is contributing it to look too CG because it's way too clean. Now again, this is something that definitely the compositor should have done. He should have made it a bit more blurry. He should have made it a bit more integrated into the plate because right now it's way too sharp. And then we have the moon. The moon, I think you did a great job with the first shot. This is a really nice shot. The only thing that I'm missing in this shot, Nick, is motion blur. I feel like you're missing motion blur, camera motion blur,
okay.
not moon motion blur, camera motion blur. So that because we go frame by frame, it gets a bit jittery. Although, having said that, it is possible to shoot it like that. If you had like a different shutter speed, you could probably shoot it like that. But normally, if you look at NASA footage, usually there is motion blur because it's being usually shot by a normal shutter and a normal camera. So I would say definitely the camera motion blur would have helped this shot, but it does look really nice. Now this one here, I think the simulation is a good start, but it requires more work because right now this dust is really thick and it's really big, and so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe let me ask you this before I even do this comment: how big is this thing, this object? Is it big? Is it small? Because I have no scale or any idea of how big it is.
See, I was confused about that too when we were just making it. Turns out it's at most a meter tall.
Okay, I see. So that makes sense. So
it's like a micro probe.
Okay, so then it makes sense about the size of the dirt. That's fine. So never mind that comment that I made. But I think you went
the craters are real tiny for it.
Yes, that's one thing. And then also I think your spray is way too much. Like it just goes bananas, almost like windy going out. And I feel like it at some point it becomes very distracting because you get all these streaks. I'm not sure it would go that far. At some point it looks like water almost coming out of it. I think you went a bit too far. It looks much more realistic when it gets a bit of gravity and actually starts falling down and everything. I think you just went too much with it. But yeah, there's I guess the problem with the shot is the scale. There's scaling issues here. You know, like the object is too small, but then the craters are too small, and then the debris looks too big, and then there's just like a dissonance here of scales, and which is really tricky, especially since you have no reference whatsoever. There's nothing there. There's no lunar lander there. There's no flag. There's nothing for you to compare.
The biggest issue with the flag comes out a bit later in the shot that absolutely was not mine, so I couldn't add it. But
yeah.
The biggest issue was that 2013 MacBook and a request that the cloud be rather thick.
Yeah.
So we had to make the debris bigger or else it would just crash.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. That's the kind of thing that would never happen on a production, you know. That's what I meant in the beginning when I was talking to you about the section where there would be like you would be explaining and giving an excuse of why something didn't work. On a production level, we would always find a solution or then go back to the client and find another thing to do because the being limiting a shot because of the power of the machine is not an enough excuse to produce a shot. And so
it's not something that would happen in a large production that had a budget period.
Exactly, absolutely. Okay, so next up, we have personal work. So we have character animation, simulation, modeling, and rigging. So
this is the one that's going to be nixed from the next one.
You're going to remove it?
As far as I know.
Yeah.
But
I think
it was planned.
Yeah, I think unless you are planning to actually do it, to finish it, and have the rest done, I do think it's not, it's just a temporary render, really.
I was planning on that, but then upon working on it, I figured out the file was absolutely completely broken, and so I'd just have to completely redo everything.
Cool. Then we'll not talk about it. It's gone then. So but it would have to be finished. It's not really. It doesn't look finished to me. Like I think you would have a lot to do still. But yeah, if it's broken, you can't even touch it. Let's not even care really. Okay, so what about this production? This is the same director as last time, but it's another film, isn't it? The same director as the other
After
first
the
one.
first one, he kept coming back to me a few times. He recommends me a lot.
Cool. And so you did
Uh,
a really lovely simulation there. Really like the way that you've comped it in to the light source behind it and the way it's integrated. It's very well made. So this is looking great. I think you did a good job. I mean, the only thing I would say is that maybe I wish I could see like a quick breakdown so that I could see the original shot and then your shot, just so I can compare to what was there and the final thing. But I think you did a great job. And then
I forget, that might be one of the ones where I lost the original shot.
Okay, I see.
I had
No.
a drive failure a few years back.
Okay, I see. This one is also looking really nice and really realistic, especially the way that the smoke is coming through the shot, and so you did all VFX. This means what? Did you get this model from someone else and then you just rendered it and lighted it? Is that what
I
you
made the
did?
model.
You made a model as well. Okay.
I got the rest of the footage because I needed to know how big things were. Did photogrammetry to get a rough view of the size of the area from the other shot, and then matched it to this shot to get all the proper glow and stuff.
Yeah, and then to get also like the smoke coming through it in different layers. Yeah, it's really well achieved. I think you did a good job. Okay, so then we have
And now,
yeah.
like, a lot of the rest of it is cleanup. So.
Okay, I see. So let me just double check here. So this one here.
Yeah, so these should be real fast.
Yeah, so you've basically removed all these people. Are these like other people that weren't part of the shoot, or are they
Yeah,
just
exactly.
okay? They were just people on
Other
the
people,
beach. I guess.
objects on the ground.
Yeah, they just like were on the beach as well. I see. Yeah, did a good job. I don't really see any issues. I mean, good patching going on there. Looks very realistic. Didn't even know. I don't think anyone even would notice.
Yep.
I mean,
I took that from another shot.
yeah, looks great. Cool. And then this one here. Wait a minute.
It was hard to remove it from behind that window.
Oh, I bet. Okay. It looks great. You did a really good job, and you actually brought back the reflections on top and everything. So that's looking good. Yeah, good job. Your
I did a whole
showreel
new technique for that, where I actually just took that image and then made a difference mask and then scaled the difference mask's opacity until it disappeared through the window.
I see.
So it couldn't be affected by, or it couldn't affect the reflections.
Cool. Well, I don't really have anything to say. I think these shots look great. What is this, by the way? Is it a music video or something?
Yes, and that also has a list. That's also in the list as the Session Cyan music video.
Okay, cool.
Here, I'll just post it to Zoom because I only recently actually watched the entire thing, and I liked it way more than I thought I would. The second act of it is easily my favorite, even though I didn't. The only work I did for it was that door opening scene for the second act.
And then this other project, is this also
Also a music
video? I see.
Yes. Interpretive dance specifically.
It's nice work. Was this done in Nuke, After Effects, or where
After
are you-
Effects.
After Effects. Yeah. You have an,
I'm all over the place. That's part of why I call myself a generalist, because I can just, if you work in a program, I can probably use it.
They look cool. Well, man, I don't know, Nick. I mean, you have a lot of things. There's a lot of black on your showreel, by the way. So it's not as big as I thought it was going to be. So there's like 30 seconds of black at the end here.
jeez.
because the showreel finishes at 2:25, and then it still goes on for another 30 seconds with nothing there. So
I might not have caught that in the. Oh wait.
yeah, it's okay.
Oh, the one that I uploaded to YouTube had been cut down from that. Okay, sorry about that.
Not a problem.
I didn't realize I had two completely different versions.
Not a problem, Nick. So, Nick, I mean, here you go. Like, the thing with your showreel is that the showreel, like you just said, it is, yes, all over the place. There's a lot of things, a lot of very different things. Like, like some of it is cleanup, some of it is CG, some of it is just like a bit of typical compositing. There is a lot of, like, there's some CG integration as well. There's a lot of things here, and I think you should definitely, if you want to work on if you want to try to get a job at a facility, I do think you should reduce it like you mentioned that as well in the beginning, and focus yourself into fewer shots, even of each production, because I don't think you need to repeat yourself so many times. I'll give an example. Like, for example, the first production here, which looks great. You have the smoke because it has the sim. That's fine. You can keep it. And definitely this second shot, that's fine. But then I'm not sure you need this shot of her going up. And I'm not sure you need this person here sneezing or whatever he's doing. And I'm not sure. I do think you should focus yourself in only having a few shots of each of the VFX, and this will help your thing to become a bit shorter. The same then goes to the music video. The water thing, that's fine. I think you should definitely keep that. Looks great.
I worked hard on that, making sure that one was just right for my reel. So.
Exactly. The green space thing, it's a bit confusing because it's a bit lackluster in terms of compositing. If anything, I would say to you that maybe make it shorter, or maybe remove one of the shots or something like that. I think these things of the moon thing, I don't think they are good enough to be on a reel. I'll be very frank to you. I think the CG is too sharp. It's too CG. It's maybe this Earth and the moon is probably the only things I would leave. I just feel the rocket shots are not good enough in terms of the same level of other shots you have on the showreel. And also this landing is not good enough as well to be on your showreel. Then this one is also, you're not even going to touch it anymore, so we should remove it. And then this smoke stuff looks great. The neon looks great. These are all cool. You should keep them.
That's what surprised me. You like the smoke a lot.
Yeah, I did, because it looks like a normal shot we do in compositing. Like, this is the typical bread and butter.
The funny part was I actually pushed back a little bit against them on that first one because they made me brighten the smoke 3 times in a row. The band that the music video was for. I'm like, okay, are you sure about this the 3rd time? I'm like, okay. But in the end, the more I watched it, the more I liked it.
I think it looks great. And remember, I'm not giving you like creative opinions about it. I'm not telling you if I like the shot or not, or if it's a nice shot or not. Just like talking about the compositing and the CG and just like the technical side of it, because no one in recruitment or even the VFX soups looking at your showreel, they're never going to care what's in it. They don't care what it is in it, what job it is, or what type of shot it is. They just want to know if it's
not about the story, it's about the effect.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is, yeah. And also, these shots here from the beach, I think, again, you have too many. I think you could maybe shorten this up and have few of them. Maybe focus on the best ones. And this entire section here at the end is not very good, especially because the effect of the displacement looks a bit cheap. It looks a bit low resolution. It doesn't have the typical displacement, depth of field, and defocusing and chromatic aberration that you usually get on similar effects. And then it just goes a bit nuts afterwards when he's like flying around here, and then we have like some flickers going on here. I think this is unnecessary to be on a showreel. And then I think that's it, really. So I think your showreel could have been really 1.5 minutes, and it would have been perfect for that. And just focus your attention on only a few shots to showcase your work as a compositor, really. But I think it's really good work, Nick. I mean, I just make it shorter, and make it more tight and more, and get rid of all the shots that have nothing almost. Like you do have a few shots here that are not even with VFX, that they don't need to be here. I think you did good, Cool, man. Any other things you want to ask or questions or?
I had one earlier. Oh yeah. Oh right. I I am like just barely through the beginning phases of one of my next VFX shots for my next reel,
Okay.
and I'm gonna be working on this for probably the next couple weeks. But
Okay.
let's see. I'll try sending it on Zoom real fast if I
Okay.
can. Chat. There's my chat.
Just
I already sent it on Discord, but
okay. I'm gonna just share. Okay.
it's
so-
not letting me do it on Zoom.
I see it here now. Okay. So
That
that's
is the
one.
full resolution, so you can just download it. And
Yeah, that's what I'm
watch it.
doing. Okay, so that's the one that you sent it to me.
Yeah.
So there we go. So that's
So
the
it's
one.
just a quick previs of.
Okay, cool. So
of
I have
the
it on
intended
screen
shot.
right now. It's 12 seconds long. So okay, cool. So you're doing a character, a CG character. Okay, cool.
No, that's going to be me.
Oh, it's gonna be you. Okay, so this is just an animatic then, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. So what are you trying to do? This kind of
Gonna
like
be-
landing of the Dune guys. Like there's a shot on Dune that's similar to this.
Yes, I'm so happy. I was
Yeah.
trying to do a Dune-like effect, but with the lighting of the Astartes series. If you've seen that.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I've seen
Yep, the one light top down of the Astartes series.
it. Cool.
I was
Cool,
a
man.
big fan of
This is really, really early, but yeah, looks great. And how you are gonna put yourself there then? What's your plan?
Nuke.
Okay,
Nuke
but
and a green screen.
yeah, but like, do you have like a place to shoot this, or are you just gonna shoot it outside, or how? What's your plan?
I am blessed enough to have quite a lot of room in my living room just across from my kitchen. So I put my
Yes.
camera in the kitchen and I view it over the counter and it just barely misses it. And so there's just enough room for me to like jump off a chair and get all the shots that I need.
I see.
I know, right? It's gonna be tight, but I'm gonna bounce some light off the ceiling to get that nice upper light and match everything up.
Cool. Well, looks good. I can't wait to see it. So please come back
Okay.
so we can see this shot.
okay.
Cool, man. There's often a lot of people that come back to the show, and it would be nice for people to see the
Progression from one reel to another.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. A lot of people come back. We've had at least 3 different people that came back a couple of years later. And even if you just have one shot, you can always pop in and just show the shot, and then we can just go through it.
The only thing that I'm really proud of that isn't already in the previs is the actual props that went into that. Because I also do a little prop design. I do everything. And I'm actually currently wearing it. I'm stress testing it for this is what he's wearing on his arms to break the fall.
That's
And
cool.
so I'm like stress testing how comfortable it is and how well it connects to my body. So
That's awesome. Well, Nick, it was a pleasure to have you here.
I've been slowly working myself into the person who does everything.
It was a pleasure having you here, Nick, and thank you for sending the work. I think you have a lot of talent and you have a lot of good work there, and you're always welcome. Yeah, thank you so much. We're gonna wrap it up because we have a third person coming in. So thank you so much,
Sorry
Nick.
for having you take an extra maybe 10 or 15 minutes on me.
It's not a problem at all.
But-
Not a problem. These show reels always take a long time. It's not a problem at all. I like to go through it and to really go through it in detail, and so it's not a problem at all. Cool, man. Well, I'll see you around, and thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for reviewing my reel.
Not a
This
problem,
is
Nick.
an
Not a problem.
amazing chance that you give the community.
Not a problem. I'm very happy to help as much as I can. I'll see you later, man, my friend. I'll see you later. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, cool. So thank you so much, Nick, for doing that and for joining us. And I guess, yeah, that's it. Like, we are one more to go. Today's going to be a long stream. So we still have at least another 45 minutes to go. So, as usual, let's do a break to stretch our legs, get some water in it, and rest our eyes for a little bit. Then we'll be back with the last showreel review of the day, and then the last giveaway as well. And hopefully it's not Bruno again. We only have Brunos today. So thank you so much, and I'll see you all in about 10 minutes. I'll put a timer, and then we can come back and then the last showreel. So hope I hope you basically stretch your legs and get some water, and I'll be back very soon. Okay, we are back. Thank you so much for still being here. There's a lot of people still watching. So now we're going to go with the last showreel of the night. I know this stream is being a bit longer than usually. I guess it's to compensate the fact that I only did one showreel review last time. So we usually do two, but we're going to do three. We're going to do the third one now. Once we're done, we will do the last giveaway. So, yeah. And yeah, thank you so much for being here. And again, thanks so much to BenQ for supporting the channel like this. Much appreciated for BenQ for always being there for us and for the channel. This because of them, literally, that we are still doing this. And remember that as I mentioned in the beginning of this stream, years ago I was doing a lot of streams of Nuke compositing on Twitch, and I started that in 2018, I think, and we did hundreds of streams there. And I always keep saying that I'm going to come back to it, but I'm not going to go back to Twitch again, because I think Twitch is not really the correct platform anymore to do something like that. So I'm going to return to Nuke compositing, but I'm going to return to it on YouTube. So expect that to happen very soon. Like every 2 weeks, we always do these, the showreel reviews. So in 2 weeks, we'll have another one. If you want to be part of the reel, don't forget to send me an email or message me so that you can book a place on the reel review, because I need to book it so that we make sure people have a microphone, they have a Zoom link, everything has to be pre-booked. So if you are interested on joining these reels, you need to pre-book it with me. Don't forget that. You can't just send the reel. You need to send the reel and then message me somehow, either on Discord, social media, Twitter, or LinkedIn about your reel review. So every 2 weeks will be the showreel review, and then every month we'll have the Nuke compositing workshops. And I'm going to do it like last summer. I'm going to continue with basically production shots. Last time we did a shot for the Sniper Elite 5 trailer. I did a CG shot. I'm thinking this time of doing one of the shots from the Zeiss commercial that I directed just now. So I might do one of those shots as well for people to see how we did them. So it'll be production shots, and then I'll take questions. So I guess to answer that question for Studio Davis, which is asking that, he's asking when are we doing a live stream about the Zeiss Cinecraft commercial, and yeah, that is happening. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, Nick. I feel like Twitch used to do better. You know, Twitch used to be much. The reason I was doing Nuke compositing on Twitch was because Twitch was much better in terms of quality, like in terms of streaming quality, and I could get 60 frames per second on Twitch, and the quality of the stream was remarkable. Now YouTube has caught up. As you can see, I'm running on 60 right now. It's on 60 frames per second. The quality of the stream is really high from all my cameras. I have it from the back there, and I have it from the front there as well. Hi. And the quality is just so much better these days on YouTube, that I think that's why I'm going to do it here. But anyway, enough about me. Don't forget there's a giveaway at the very end. In the meantime, I'm just going to thank BenQ again for the amazing support they give us by playing their commercial again. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back. forgot to put the microphone on. Thank you so much again, BenQ, for all the support you give to my channel all the time, and also all the giveaways in the past. Now, there's a question here from Bramit. Apologies, Bramit. I didn't saw that you were asking about this. So you're asking about the motion blur in the course. Yes, I do explain motion blur when we are doing the matte painting. I can't remember off the top of my head the number of the class. Okay, I'm sorry about that. But there is a class where we go through matte painting and we go through the scanline render, and then I talk about no voice. I think I have a voice. Don't you? Can't you hear it? Okay, I think it's back now. There is like a class with the motion with the matte painting where we go through the scanline render settings, and then we use the scanline render to do motion blur, and also we use the vector blur to do the motion blur. So that's one class that has that a lot, at least. Now, regarding vector blur with CG, I don't do that because on the course, because all the CG I have, which is from production, has pre-baked 3D render in motion blur, so the motion blur is rendered. But I do have a class which is part of the workshops. I don't know if you have access to the workshops, but on the workshops, the CG car, the racetrack car, that workshop, I do go through the motion blur settings. So I'm happy to answer you. Just contact me on Discord. I'm happy to kind of like try to help you find those classes. Like I said, I'm not really like know out of the top of my head where they are. So, but contact me on Discord. I'll try to help you with that. Don't worry. So another question here that I have is like, the new regulation, you can stream simultaneously on both platforms, and very soon we'll be able to stream in 4K. Well, streaming on both platforms has always been possible, but if you become a partner on Twitch, then they don't allow you. And I am, if you are affiliated, I am affiliated, so I can't do streams on both places. Otherwise, I definitely would do. Yeah, so Bramit, if you brought the workshops, then you'll see the racetrack shot. I go through the motion blur, but I'm not entirely sure if I've done that class already, or if I've done it already, maybe I haven't released it yet. That could be that. I think I've done it, but not released it yet. So the workshops are like pre-orders, so I'm still working on them. So it's coming. But contact me on Discord. I can try to help you. If you need help, I can try to help you through there. I always try to help my students as much as I can. So yeah, so the Twitch thing, the 4K stream though, I'm not gonna do stream in 4K anytime soon. The reason for that is because the thing I'm using here, which is the one on the bottom here, you see if you look at this part, this is the ATM Mini Extreme ISO, which is what I'm using to stream. This is only HD, it doesn't do 4K. Maybe hopefully they do a 4K version, because obviously my cameras are 4K. I have over there, that's a Canon C300, so that's a 4K camera, and then the one you're watching here, that's a Blackmagic 4K Pocket, and then the one on the back there, this one here, that's the Blackmagic 4K Pocket Pro. So I could do it in 4K, and my screen is in 4K as well. I could, but I'm not going to do it in 4K without upgrading this, and I still don't know if I'm going to, unless Blackmagic makes a 4K version of the ATM Mini Express Extreme. I'm not sure I can do 4K because this thing only does HD. So that's the thing. And yeah, Bramit, I know the player is not very good when you download video, but that's not the point of the course. The course is to be watched through the browser. It's not to be watched to the download app. The download app was always just an extra thing we did because a lot of people were asking for it. It's extremely expensive to make a video player, a bespoke video player. So we're never going to have a better player than that one. I would advise you to watch the videos on the browser, which is where it's supposed to be watched. Blackmagic did not sponsor me, no. They don't sponsor me. I'm not a fan of Blackmagic. They're quite cheap. Their equipment is very cheap, so that's why I buy it compared to other equipments. Anyway, enough about me. Let's jump into the showreel review, the last one of the day. So let's get it on with. I noticed now that the timing is already off, so I need to like open it up again. So can I? Yeah, so that would be until 8:30 here, save. Okay. So I'm gonna bring in. So let's see here. Let's open up for the stream here. Okay, cool. I don't need DaVinci open anymore. Okay, so I'm just wondering if you're here. So let's just bring you over. Jonas, are you here? We are. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, I'm just waiting for Jonas to come in to see if he shows up here. Yeah, okay, cool. So he's gonna come in now. Hopefully he comes in and then I can bring him in to the show. Can you hear me? Hopefully you can hear me. Okay, wait a minute. I think did I forget to send you the Zoom link? No, I didn't. I did send you the Zoom link. I'll just send it again. So copy invitation. I'll send you the link again. So just go through that link there. Black Magic to be my sponsor. Black Magic was supposed to be my sponsor for. I was kind of chatting with them, but then it kind of didn't happen. So I wish they were, but it would have been nice because I do have a little equipment from Black Magic, so that's for sure. So Jonas, are you here? Can you hear me? We can't hear you. Try again. Hello? Are you here? The anticipation is palpable. I can't hear you yet, but wait a minute, just 1 second. Yeah, now I think I can hear you. Can you say it again?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Now we can hear you. Perfect. We can hear you. Cool.
Yeah,
okay,
I was having some trouble last stream, so I made sure I tested it out before.
Cool. So apologies for the delay. That's the first thing I would say, Jonas. I'm so sorry for the delay that we got to you so late. And the other thing as well, as you probably notice, people are watching me through a different lens and you're watching me through another different camera. But yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't need to explain that again, but I've explained that a few times before. But yeah, again, so sorry that you had to wait for so long for today. But why don't you tell us, Jonas? I know I'm calling you Jonas, but of course you're called Jonas. You're Brazilian,
Yeah.
But I'm people probably. So I guess it'd just be Jonas Ferreira. That's it. But Jonas, like, tell me a little bit about yourself. Where are you calling from? What's up with you? Like, tell the audience a bit about yourself.
I work as a visual effects compositor in Los Angeles. I'm currently working remote in Brazil, and I've been a compositor for 2.5 years. Before that, I worked in video editing and video production, just mostly freelance basis. And until I went back to school to study visual effects. That was kind of more of what I was getting interested in, and yeah. And then right now I am. We do mostly 2D cleanup where I work, and for a series.
Okay, and so tell me a little bit about what's the objective behind this reel. Like, are you currently looking for work, or are you just like browsing? What's going on with the reel that you have?
I'm currently looking for like, well, right now I am working on a visa for my girlfriend, for my fiance, to go to the United States because we are expecting a baby. So,
Cool. Well,
and
congratulations.
thanks. Yep. So I'm looking for like a job since I can't go to US and she can't go until she gets the visa, obviously. And I'm kind of looking like see what other options I have, either, UK, because Brazilians don't really need a visa for up to 6 months.
Ah, cool.
So,
Cool.
yeah, or Brazil, but Brazil doesn't really have that many options because that's where she's located in Brazil. As far as companies, there are a few, but very slim
Okay.
options.
Okay, cool. Well, let's put your showreel up, and then we'll go through it the two together. So I'm gonna share my screen, and I'm gonna just like put it up here. So again, like I say to everyone, thank you so much for sending it over. It was very kind of you to send it over so that we can chat together today about that. And I'm gonna just put it looping while we chat, and I'm gonna take away the sound. So if you don't mind, because I'm gonna get like copyright striked by YouTube if I don't do that. But yeah, in general, this showreel, there's a lot of work here. So tell us a little bit about what type of work is this? Is this like personal work? Is it like professional work? Like what's going on here?
Some of it is like my own personal projects. Some of them are from the Hugo's desk course.
Cool.
And one of them is from my job.
Cool.
That I'm currently at.
Is that the one on the beginning, or no? The beginning one, it wasn't.
No, that was my own personal one.
Okay, I'm gonna just scroll through here and see. So this is from Hugo's desk course, yeah, and then the one you're talking about is this one, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that which one are you talking about? Is this the one?
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Cool. Well, the first thing I would tell you, Jonas, is that most companies prefer to see real production. So the first thing I would tell you is that on your showreel, I would advise you to have that one first. Because it might not be your best shot, but it's at least a real production shot. And because slowly, through the progress of your career, the objective would be to just have more and more production shots and then slowly remove the personal shots. And so at some point, you wouldn't have any personal shots anymore on the showreel. That would be the plan. That would be the ideal scenario for you to do, okay? So that would be what I would say. But let's start from the beginning. So what's going on with this shot, the one with the zombie and the robot? What did you actually do on it, and where are these assets from? Like, tell us a little bit about this shot.
Yeah, I filmed it in LA. This is downtown LA. And I filmed it myself and on a Blackmagic Pocket 4K.
Cool.
And the assets I got from either Turbo Squid or Free 3D, I think, like the barrel and the zombie. Yeah, and the fire, I think, was the stock footage site. I forgot the name right now, but
okay, I see.
Yeah.
Now, so this plate, the actual plate, the street with the city on the back, that's all real, or did you add things to the city as well?
No, the city I had, like, I painted in like some destruction. I added some 3D
I see.
broken buildings. Yeah.
And you added depth of field, wasn't it? You put it more defocused than it was shot with, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, Yeah, that wasn't that great. This wasn't a great camera, so I try to add as much depth of field and make it as good as possible in post.
Yeah, the problem with the Pocket is that the Pocket 4K, the first the smaller one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You require, like, the sensor is not very big, and so you're not going to get a lot of depth of field. And then to get a lot of depth of field, you need to use like a very low f-stop on the camera, on the lens. And then also, because this is so wide, usually when you have wide shots, it doesn't get a lot of depth of field. And so it's always a problem. Now, having said that, because you need to be with a longer lens to get more depth of field, because wider lenses are usually more tricky to get depth of field going. Having said that, I would tell you that I think your depth of field, the extra defocusing you added, is not really helping your shot. I think it makes it a bit fake. I would actually not have that. I think I would keep it sharp as it was shot completely, or at least, if anything, maybe not put so much defocusing. Maybe put a bit less defocusing, because it doesn't look right. And the reason why it doesn't look right is because our eyes are so used to footage and film, and usually if you go back and always look at very wide shots with wide lenses, you never really get a lot of defocusing going on, except if it's an anamorphic lens, or if sometimes they try to fake that by being more far away from the action and having a more closer lens. So keep that in mind, because I don't think it's helping your shot. Now, other things that are also not particularly good. I mean, I think you did a good job with let me do one by one. The robot, I think it looks good. I think you did a good job with the robot. If anything, if you want to maybe have a little bit more cooler things, as maybe when his feet hit the ground, maybe have a little bit of displaced dirt or displaced dust going out on when he puts the feet, and also when his feet go up, when the feet actually go up and go forward, it would have been nice to see some of the dust and some of the debris moving around a bit. This could be achieved with some extra passes that you could put in just below his feet under the CG. And it doesn't need to be much. It can just be like a piece of dust that you either film, or you can get some stock footage of just a piece of dust going. And I think that would have helped quite a lot to fix that. Now, saying that, I think the robot itself is looking quite well integrated. I feel like you did a good job. Shadows look quite cool. Lighting looks quite spot on. I think you did a good job. If anything, maybe you are going a bit too far with the light trap. So the light trap should be there, but I think it should be more spread. I think it's too thin, so it needs to spread over a bit more. So that's for the robot. I think, again, like I said, you did a good job. And also you have a nice touch with the lighting up of the robot because of the explosion, which is nice. It's a nice touch. So that's the robot. Now, second element that we have here is the fire on the foreground. Now, it looks cool. I like what you did there with the displacement and the fire and the barrel. I think you did a good job. But I think your light, the light source, the actual fire itself, is not bright enough. It needs to overexpose a bit more. You're just outside at daytime, and so your fire should actually ping white. It should overexpose a bit. And I think it's too dull. It's too clamped down. It has too little dynamic range. And if you add some dynamic range to it, it will look better, I think, as well. Because all these little pings of yellow that you have on the middle here, it should just be more, because you're picking up quite a lot of grayer red tints in the middle of the fire. And in fact, when you film a fire outside, when it's daytime, when it's really sunny, the fire almost vanishes. It kind of disappears into the plate, because so much light is hitting the fire that the fire becomes a bit more transparent and a bit less visible. Now, that's a small touch, and I think you can definitely fix it. I really love your displacement. I think you did a great job with the displacement, and it's a great job with the smoke, the very subtle smoke coming out of the barrel as well. So, two things good out of all of it already. So the robot looks great, but less light wrapping, and it should definitely have the integration with the floor, with the dust. The fire is not overexposed enough, and it should be more bright as well. And so far so good. I hope you,
Yeah.
don't get upset or get deflated by the feedback. I'm trying to give you as constructive feedback as I can, for you to kind of feel good at trying to approach the shot and do it better. So that's my idea. Now, we've talked about the depth of field as well, which I think you went a bit too far, and also by that sense, you're hiding some of the destruction you put on the buildings, which is a shame, because you did a good job there, and we hardly notice it. Now, let's talk about what's not that good. The zombie is really not working here, and the zombie is okay, not as good as the robot, but the explosion is also not working very well. So let's start step by step. First of all, the zombie looks too contrasted. His black point looks a bit off for so much sun that you have here. I would say that you should have more bounce of light. Because this is LA and it's outside. I've been in LA, it's super bright, everything is bright. And you would have gotten so much light spilling and light bouncing to his body that you would never get this much darkness or black shadows on it. It would have been a bit more brighter. That's problem number one. Now, and that's an easy fix with black points and white points. Now, again, I feel like it would have been nice if it would have somehow integrated itself to the floor, so you would have a little bit of dust coming through and debris coming through from the foot, just like you did with the robot, potentially with the robot. Now, about the explosion is really not working, and I tell you why. The first thing that needs to happen is that if a missile gets sent to him, this would not be the first frame. The first frame would be a splatter of goo and pieces of legs and arms of the zombie. It would be destroyed in little pieces. So you should have at least one or two frames where you see legs, arms, and parts of the body just flying through the air. That's problem number one, because the zombie kind of gets, it almost becomes dust. It kind of becomes a dust cloud instead of becoming pieces of meat and bone, because such a large explosion would have completely ripped apart the body of the zombie. So that's problem number one. Problem number two is that your explosion, let me ask you this, is this explosion CG or is it an element that you got?
No, just an element.
Yeah.
I originally wanted, this was kind of a placeholder. I wanted to see if I could get someone who does simulations to help me with this part.
Okay,
so,
I see. Yeah, because it's not rarely achieved. So first of all, it starts with this kind of really gray cloud, because it's almost like the scale is off. This explosion is very large. It's a very large explosion, but you've scaled it down to a very small object, and so it's the fact of the matter is it loses scale, and then the dynamic range is really broken. Like, this is way too bright and hot. It doesn't look realistic. It looks like it's breaking, and that's probably because since it's an element, it doesn't have enough dynamic range to actually stay there. And then after a while it gets better. Of course, you fade to black. I don't think you should fade. I talked about that on the first reel that we did here on the show. The one in the, it's been 3 hours ago already. So the first one I did on this stream, we talked about these fades, because the fade is covering too much, because actually the best part of the explosion is the end. That's actually looking much, much better. So if I was you, I would try to in compositing break up the body of the zombie and just have parts flying through the air, and then the explosion itself should be much more subdued. It should be a smaller explosion, like a missile, and this is right now almost like the missile is so powerful that it makes this mini nuke, which is a bit off. It kind of doesn't really connect, because if this explosion was so big, there would have been debris against the lens, the barrel would have flown away, the robot would have moved a little bit out of his, and you would have had a shockwave of dust. So like, this is such a big explosion. Where's the shockwave? Where's the camera shake? Where's the extreme debris mounting out? So it's there's something disconnected. So I think the shot, the robot looks great. The destruction you did on the back looks great, minus the motion blur, motion depth of field. The barrel looks good. I think it's the zombie, the explosion, that doesn't really help you. And so maybe rethink that, or maybe remove that. Like just that section of the shot. Think about that, okay? And you need to be a bit careful as well, because you shouldn't start your showreel with this shot, because the don't get me wrong, okay, I hope you don't get me wrong. This shot tells me, as an outsider, if I was a VFX supervisor or a recruiter, I would look at this shot and I would feel that this shot is a little bit amateurish, and so I would feel like, oh, I'm not even going to bother to see the rest of the reel. You need to be careful, because this shot is telling everyone else that this is the level that you have on the showreel. And I think the reason why it looks a bit amateurish is because the elements are not holding up. The elements are not good enough to be on this shot. So I really would recommend you to rethink a bit this, rethink it, and maybe get a different element, or maybe rethink the shot. Maybe it's just a robot and there's no zombie and there's no explosion, and there's other ways of approaching it, for sure. Yeah. And regarding the explosion of the zombie itself, it's definitely easy enough, I think, to cut them up in compositing and put a bit of elements of blood, and of course, because it's a zombie, maybe you can darken the blood so it's a bit darker, and maybe even have splatters around the body and actually splattering to the floor, so you would have a splatter of him being destroyed. And don't forget also that as this explosion is coming from the front, so the missile is coming at full speed against him, the zombie would be blown up to debris to the left. So the zombie would be exploded to the left, and the explosion would have all its power to the left. It wouldn't be in the middle, because the explosion you have is a bomb. It's like an explosion. It's a bomb that falls down and hits the ground and explodes upwards. What you need is an explosion that goes from the right side to the left, so that it actually mimics a missile hitting something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool. So let's move on, because I don't want you to let's not focus just on this shot. But there's a lot here that could be cool. And I think with some work, if you need help, just reach out to me and I can see if I can give you some advice. You're my student, so I'm always available on Discord. I always respond to everyone. So, just contact me there if you need some help. And yeah, I'm gonna see Nick is actually on the chat here saying the same thing as me, like with the gore frame, and photoshopping a gore frame could be quite cool to do that. Now let's move on to the shot from Hugo's desk. This is from the course that I have. So I think you did a great job with the train. The train looks great. It's really quite rather well integrated. If anything, I would tell you that maybe perhaps think about having a bit more. You have some nice smoke going on, but maybe think about having a little bit more smoke coming out of the train, almost like it's lifting some dust, So I think that could be cool, But I think you did a good job. Also, maybe consider that if this was being shot by a cameraman, most likely you would be focused on the train first. The DOP would do that. He would have focused on the train first and have had the train fully focused. and the background would be defocused, and then you would rack focus from the train to the person in the platform. Maybe that's a nice thing that you could do, and it would really give it a lot of nice look to the shot, if you would have done that. Then the integration of the shot itself, I feel like the clock you put in, and also, well, let's start with the clock. First of all, the clock and also the board, I think the black point is a bit off. So the black is quite gray, actually, and I think you are keeping it a bit too much. I'm just going to get in here. Let's just see if I'm wrong or not, but where is it? So just a second. Here we go. So just going to bring in the digital. Can I go? Oh, I'm not. I'm in full screen. I'm just going to move out of full screen so I can have this on top. So if I look at here, you see like the black points here. You're getting the darkest thing, which is in darkness, is like 11, 11, 11. And then you see these are on some parts are too low because this is in not sun, but it's in brightness. There's like light coming through it. So you should never put the black point to this area. You should almost like look at this like water pipe here, and we have like a 100 by 100 by 97 on the color picker, and you see the black point of your thing is 70, 70, 80. So it's almost like that pipe is quite black, and your black is too gray. It's not black. It's too black. It needs to be less black. The same goes for the clock. Notice here the edge of the clock is 13, 10, 11. That's way too dark because that's the same level of darkness of shadow of under the roof here. So you see you have the same black level under the roof that you have on the sides of the clock. And so I would really recommend you to lift the blacks of the clock to make it match more. And then problem number 3 for me is the reflection on the clock. I think you should clean it because there's no sun anywhere. So it's a cloudy day. I know because I was there shooting it. And so there's no spot anywhere. You wouldn't have had any light or sun hitting that reflection. So this high reflection here shouldn't really be here. And especially because you see how bright it is. It's 255, 53, 55. That's pure white. And when you look at the, when you look at here, that's pure white as well, which is the wall, which is getting the most amount of light. But it shouldn't really be the reflect. First of all, there's no sun, so your reflection wouldn't even be there. And even if it was some reflection, it wouldn't be that bright. Okay? So that's so these are the little, and these are really tiny problems. Okay, they're really tiny, so they're really simple to fix and very much something you can definitely do. I don't think you should be worried about it at all. Because the rest of the shot looks great. The integration with the train looks great, and the cleanup is looking also great as well. The cleanup you did with the legs and the arms, and especially because there's so much cleanup on this shot. So I think the rest looks great. So yeah, let's move on to the shot. Yeah, the rest you did a really good job. Now, next up here is this shot here, which is the horror from Oak Lake. I think you did a great job. I think the only thing I would say is that I think the creatures perhaps are too dark. Maybe the black point needs to be a bit adjusted. Also, this is, of course, a problem we had on set. I think you also should maybe stabilize the footage a bit because it's shaking a bit. We had a lot of problems with the dolly, so it was shaking. Definitely, I would recommend you to stabilize it so that when you deliver a shot, the shot was actually more stable. But I think that's pretty much it. You did a good job with the glass and the breakup. I think you did a really good job there. It's really just the shake there that I don't really like. And then we have the creature that is on the middle of both people. I think you did a good job with the integration of the creature and the good job with the fire integration as well. Don't really see any issues. I definitely think you did a good job with the grain management and the depth of field. This shot is looking really nice. I feel like you nailed the black point and the white point with the reflections and also the smoke coming out of his mouth. So I think this is actually probably one of the most well-achieved shots you have here. Definitely, and then the racetrack shot looks nice. I think you did a good job. I feel like, if anything, maybe add a bit of grain and a bit of noise to it because it's very smooth. It needs a bit of atmospheric grain just to break up this. I would definitely put some grain, but I think you did a good job putting all the people there. The motion blur is looking good. I think the black levels are looking nice. It's just really missing grain.
Yeah, I fixed the problems you had mentioned last time. Like there was like a line around some of the people in the front.
Yeah.
And I went back and fixed that, and on the other shots also and fixed a couple other things.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah. No, you did really good. You did really good. When we did the review last time, was it on Twitch or was it like a private I can remember now. It was a long time ago.
No, it was on YouTube.
It was on YouTube, wasn't it? Okay, but it was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was last year, middle of the year.
Yeah, it was like almost a year ago. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I remember now. I wasn't really remembering. So now one thing I do notice is that you do have some of these people have a little bit of a black edge, but only some of them. Like you can see this one here and this one. I understand that this footage from Action VFX is not very good for keying because the roto is not incredibly well made, and so you probably have to erode some of those black lines. There's only a few of them that happens, but I think you did a good job. And I would say that just try to minimize those black edges and put a bit of grain on it, and I think you're done. I think it looks really good. And remember not to put the fades. I think the fades are a problem because you just are cutting so much of the shot that people want to watch. I don't think you should fade. I said that to the other artist as well. Now, this shot here, I think you did a great job. The keying looks good as well. The black points look good as well. I feel like you did a good integration with the CG. The water is flowing through the window as well, which is nice. The CG lamp as well. I think you did a really good job. I don't really see any major issues on anything, if anything. So I think you did a really good job. This is quite well achieved. And then I guess last but not least is this production. So this production here, there's something strange going on, which I don't know if it's the plate that they gave you or if it's something else. But I don't know if you noticed, but there's like this kind of ghosting happening on the shot. You see that? Especially on the eyelids there, you can see ghosting. Is that on the plate? Because we see like double frames happening when it floats. Like you see... There's ghosting as well. Is that because it's been retimed, do you think?
I'm not sure. Yeah, it might be. I don't think it would be. I don't think it's like that on the original.
You see, I can see it on this is on the original. We see the shadowing. You see like the ghosting. Is this like for a film, a television show, a soap? What is this actually?
It's a TV show. Okay. It's Tyler Perry's one of his TV shows.
It could be that it was shot interlaced and they've merged the fields because that's what it looks to me. It looks like it was interlaced footage and they've made it progressive and they used the wrong settings and that's why you're having ghosting. I think that's a tough thing because you can't really fix that really unless they would process the footage correctly. But apart from that, I would say that you did a good job, but I feel like her edge is too sharp. Like if you look closely to the real plate, if you look at the real plate, I'm going to see if I can find frame that she's not moving much, so that she's static. Yeah, there you go. So that's the statics one. Notice how much blur we have here. So if I bring in the little zoom thing here, so notice how much fall off we have here. There's like at least 10 or 12 pixels of fall off here, which is the edge blur. It's like the wrapping around, like the camera is not really being able to find that edge. And now when I look at your key, let's go to the same frame, which is kind of around here. Let me just get that back. See, notice how sharp that is. So you only have like maybe 5 pixels of edge. So you're losing that fallout, that your edges are too sharp. They need to be more blurred. And I would advise you to just use an edge blur around her head. Now be careful with the edge blur, because you're going to lose the hair and you're going to lose the eyebrows and the eyelashes. But for that, you need to protect them with some roto and some soft mats, so that you protect them from that edge blur, so that the edge blur is only affecting the actual edge of the skin, so that you get the level of fallout and blur. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that's it really. I mean, I think the rest you did a good job. I think you can kind of see that the roto and the keying is looking good. You did a good job with there. I can still see some nice detail on the hair and everything. So it's really just the edge itself of the front of the face that is a bit too sharp. And of course the ghosting. But the ghosting is a bigger problem, which I'm not entirely sure I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Not entirely sure why you're having ghosting and why could be the interlacing, but even if it's the interlacing, I'm not sure you can do anything about it. That's the thing, you know what I mean? Like I'm not sure you can even do anything about it. So yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it. I'm just running your shots again. Do you have any questions or anything else that you would like to ask or say or anything or?
Like shots from like the TV shows and stuff like that, but it's not too much comp. I mean, we have some few like phone comps and just, but it's mostly cleanup, and and some like green screen and like photo matte creating. Do you think that would be above like some of the more like artistic shots that are not aired or not from TV or movies?
I definitely think that your reel is really good. Like I think you did a good job. I feel like the only shot that I think is really bringing you down is the first one. Because I think you did a great job with the shots from Hugo's desk. You did a great job on all these shots. They look great, and they look really well made. I also think you did a good job with the racetrack, and you did a good job with the girl in the car as well, and in the train. So all these shots look great. And it's just the first one that looks a bit amateurish, and it doesn't look as good as the rest. So I would advise you to remove this one. Or if you want, you could make it better. So maybe think about what you could do to this shot. And definitely any real production shot should be in the beginning of the reel, and you should try to put more production shots on the reel. Now, having said that, this shot has a few problems. The ghosting is a problem, and the edge is a problem. So if you can't fix them, that will be an issue. And so if you don't have access to the material anymore, or if you can't them, but the more shots you have of production, the better on the showreel, so that you can slowly remove the student projects and the personal projects, But I think as it stands right now, you have a really good reel, and you just need to think about that first shot. I think that first shot is a problem right now, because I'll be very frank, I think it's really bringing down your showreel, Yeah. So if you have other shots, go for it. And again, like I said, you're a student of mine, so I'm always happy to talk to you. And if you want to contact me, just contact me, and I can always like look at the shots and tell you which ones you could use. You know, just ask me. I'm always available there to chat. You know, so
Okay.
cool. Cool, Jonas.
Alright.
Anything else that you would like to go through or to talk?
Nope, that's it. I think.
Okay, cool. Well, I wish you the best of luck with your endeavors of trying to move and trying to get like a better job, and I hope you get it. I really do. I'm really, and just keep in touch. You know, like, and if you need me to help you with choosing shots or anything, just let me know. I'm happy to help you, and I wish you all best of luck. I mean, and again, apologies for all the wait that you had to do today. You had to wait for quite a long time to get to the stream. I apologize for that.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, I was just watching the other people, and the time just went by fast while, and I was working too. So
Cool, that's good.
that was no problem.
Yeah, it went really quick. It's already 3 hours and 40 minutes gone. Okay, cool. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Jonas, and I hope you have a great time. And yeah, I'll see you later, man, my friend. I'll see you later.
All right, cool. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, have
Bye.
a good one.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Okay, and that's it for the showreel reviews. Look at that. How time flies. So 3 hours has been done now, 3 hours and a half. And I guess I'm gonna go and do the last giveaway. So let's just do the last giveaway. Hopefully you all had the time to. Hope you all had the time to join the giveaway. So again, I can't thank enough everyone that was here today. Thank you so much for being here today. We had a lot of people on the stream today. So far we had 560 people so far. So over 500 people watched today. So thank you so much for being here. And let's do the last giveaway and then get out of Dodge. So let's just do that. So we have one last winner. Thank you so much for saying that. Thank you so much, everyone. Always thank you, Ricardo. Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Kanse. Thank you, Jonas, as well. Okay, so let's draw the last one. Thank you so much, Kanse, for saying that. You're very kind. Okay, so let's see who's the last one. Okay, I'm not sure if it's him, but I think it is, so I might need to roll the dice again because I think he's already my student. I think so. Let's see here. The winner of the Nuke course is... and if you're a student of mine, I'll just roll the dice again. Don't worry. Let's see here. So those would be... Where is it? Yeah, so the winner that dropped was Jonas CG Surfer. Is that you, Jonas? Is that the Jonas that was just on the stream on the review now? Is that you? Is that you? Okay, I figured that it would have been you. Okay, so so let me say this then, Jonas. So you're already a student of mine, so obviously you're not going to win the course again, but you don't. Do you have access to the workshops? Because if you don't have access to the workshops, I can give you the workshops for free. So so that would be what I would do if you're not part of the workshops already. Hopefully you're not. I hope so. Do you have the workshops? My second course. Did you buy that one, or do you have access to that one already? Just let me know on the chat. But in the meantime, I'm gonna run the winner again. So I'm gonna draw another winner. So because okay, so I'm gonna draw another one. It was so funny that we got two Brunos, and now we got the person that was in the stream. You're not? Okay, cool, Jonas. So I'll give you access to the workshops. Just message me so I don't forget. Message me and I'll upgrade your account so that you have access to the new courses, which is the Nuke workshops, which are 3 of them for you to watch already there. So yeah. So let me see here. Who win it as well? So I have... Okay, so let's see if this person is not a student of mine. Okay, so I have another winner here. So let's see here. The winner of the Nuke course is... okay, so that would be... Just a second, just like delete that part because that's the email. Okay, cool. Okay, show. Okay, so the winner of the course is Nitesh Sharma. Is Nitesh Sharma here? Is he a student of mine or is he here? I hope it is. I hope it is. So I would definitely say, Bramit, you don't need to be upset. Please just let's all calm down on the chat, okay? We're almost done. The stream is almost over. So please let's not get all upset on the chat, and I don't really want like aggressiveness on the chat at all. So I just wanted to know if Nitesh is here. If he's here, like he won the course. If he's here, he won the course. Are you here? It's always a bit of a delay, so we never really know if they are here. So congratulations, Nitesh, for winning the course. Just wondering if they are here on the stream. If not on the stream, if they're not on the stream, I can just jump into another winner and then do that one instead. So the winner of the Nuke course is he here? I guess he's not here. Maybe he's not here. It doesn't look like he's here. They are here. I'm not sure if it's here or they. Because I haven't met them then, so I'm gonna assume it's them. Yeah, so okay. I don't see Natash here, so maybe if he is here, he can contact me later. But in the meantime, I'll have another winner here, and then hopefully they are here. So the winner would be As Wind as SG. I guess that's the name of it. As Wind as SG. I think that's how you say it. As Wind as SG. I apologize if I'm doing this wrong. I hope they are here so we can get this done. So we can get this stream done. If they are not here, that's okay. Contact me later and I'll give you the course. It's fine. I think you won earlier too. Okay. Well, I mean, it's okay. I'll just contact them earlier. This stream has been a very long stream, so I really want to finish and wrap it up. So congratulations to all the winners and congratulations for everyone being here. Thank you so much for all the support. We'll be back in 2 weeks. We'll be back in 2 weeks from now. I hope you all have a great time. Hope you all have a lovely week. We'll be back in 2 weeks with more Showreel reviews. Don't forget that next week on Tuesday, Victor Perez is doing a stream again. So Victor is doing streams every week. Go and see his channel. It's called Victor Perez Node by Node. Go to his channel. Learn from the best. Learn from the master. Thank you so much for everyone. Thank you so much to BenQ for all the support. I'll see you all later. And thank you so much to all the 600 people that were here today. Much appreciated. I'll see you all later. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye. Goodbye.